out, right? It's Friday night. There's 1,000 things that you guys can be doing right now. Nation, really appreciate each and every last one of you all. Thank you all for tuning in as we begin to talk a little bit about the Dallas Cowboys and beyond. Here's the thing, one day at a time, one movement at a time. I do believe that if you consistently pace yourself and consistently stack wins on top of wins, then things can happen. Now, I do know, and I can say this, a loss is a bad thing to swallow, but hey, when you lose, you are closer to your victory. And all we got to do is continue to stay focused and everything else will come. Now, I do know I hear a lot of people saying that, hey, Law, are you saying that the Cowboys are soft? No, I'm not saying that. Are you saying that the Cowboys can't win? No, I'm not saying that. Are you saying that Jason Garrett can't will this team over? No, I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is collectively, if we stay focused and everything else will work its way out, because I believe in the power of thinking and positive thinking, that if all we got to do is continue, and I'm telling you this, bounce back. That's what Natasha's saying, the first person that's in the chat box. I really appreciate you, Natasha. She said, we will bounce back. And when you bounce back, and if you fall, you just try to land on your back, because if you can look up, you can get up, Cowboy Nation. And I believe deep down in my heart that this team will find a way, because the resiliency factor of this team is far beyond what we can think of, right? Far beyond what we can fathom, far beyond what we can digest as it relates to people hating on the Dallas Cowboys and beyond. And we already know about that, right? The social media and the major media is all around the world talking about how can the Dallas Cowboys fall flat on their faces, you see. And I don't believe that this team is built that way. I don't think that this team will fall on its face. I'm thinking that this team will figure out a way, regardless of the circumstances, regardless of the situation. And tonight's show, what I'm going to do is we're going to also have a call-in number. So if you want to get things off your chest, if you really want to talk and put me in a different light or perspective, or point your points of views out, feel free, and I'm going to open up the phone lines for you all, and we're going to get things going. Let me go ahead and open it up now for those who would like to be a part of the nation and put your voices out there so that everybody can understand where you come from, because where I come from is a place where we do not fold up like wallets. We do not fold up like lawn chairs. You guys know how this thing go, right, Cowboy Nation? And there are thousands and thousands and thousands of teams that's all around this world and globe that can think the same thing, meaning that they're looking at this thing and saying, okay, how are the Cowboys are going to bounce back? Are they going to do the same things that didn't get them there before? No. Jake, 2 times, really appreciate you. Logan Miller, appreciate you as well. Bro, we're going to snap off a win streak. Yes, we are. I really do believe that the Cowboys can do that. All they got to do is pretty much from here is just stay focused. We playing against a team that offense is not going to be that much of a threat. We playing against a team that I believe, when I looked at the sack total from last week against the Eagles or what have you, they did have over 9 sacks on that team. Not saying that back-to-back they're going to give up that amount of sacks, but you can start thinking that if we, and I'm talking about with a capital W-E, if we can figure out ways to just turn this thing around. I do know that we all have our reservations, which rightfully so. It's been since 1995. Hell, I'm saying live like 95 all the way. So just a turning point. This is from JoJo. Yes, just a turning point. Jake 2 times says we will just like when Dak and Zeke were rookie years. Yeah. It's similar. It's very similar to that. Everybody is saying, well, hey, Law, how do you feel about this situation? Or how do you feel about that situation? But all I'm saying is if we can just sit back and focus on the things that we can control, man, this game and this whole entire season will go the right way where we want it to be. Can we get worse? It can't get worse from the great. It can get worse to great. Yeah. Adrian Grassa. Yes, it can get to like that. It can become that points of time. Jets, easy win. This is Dre the Great. Nothing easy. Nothing is easy in the National Football League. Nothing. But I will say that if we play our style, if we understand what we can do, then everything else will fall into suit. It will. It will fall into suit because the way and the nature we play football. Now, all we got to do is really, I'm looking at the fact that Ezekiel Elliott, waiting all offseason, didn't really go out there to training camp, didn't really play and practice with the team. And now all of a sudden, you're seeing these back-to-back poorest game from Ezekiel Elliott. You can say, and you can probably argue with yourself about it, but naturally, in the grand scheme of things, we can really say to ourselves, man, this guy is trying to play himself back into shape when we need to utilize the Tony Pollards of the world, right? I didn't see a lot of snaps from Tony Pollard last game. We saw a series here and there, but I'm thinking that the Cowboys, we were so pressing to prove everybody wrong from the New Orleans Saints game that we lost focus in this Green Bay Packers game. And I do know that it's Friday right now and we still talking Green Bay. But what I'm saying is, what I'm trying to lament to everybody is that if you could just sit back and think about it collectively, you can say to yourself, man, if we just stop shooting ourselves in the foot. And I think the players got that same notion when they look back at tape and said, man, Dak Prescott saying, if I would have led the receiver just a little bit better, or even my guy Amari Cooper is saying to himself, man, if I focus and concentrate, that's why he wasn't talking much. The guy played chess during his breaks, so you know that he's trying to capitalize. He's trying to figure out how can I better my best, because if I'm playing this poor right now and I'm still top in the league in certain categories, you can only imagine if I was healthy for one. You can only imagine if I caught the ball that hit me on my chest or caught the ball that hit me in my hands, you say. And also, I think that this guy right here, Randall Cobb, I think that he got some things that he's going to look back on, too, as it relates to film. I think that he was a little battle-tested a little bit this week, trying to battle through an injury. We hear that LVE, he got some injury issues that he's trying to overcome as well. So we got two of those things. I really appreciate you all for joining in. We got 23 people. At first I was talking to only 3 people, so that let me know that at least somebody's clicking on the notification and somebody's getting alerted that I'm live like 95 right now, and I really appreciate all 23 of you all that's here right now. We got to be consistent. We got to be more aggressive. This is from BT. I agree. Being aggressive is something that the Cowboys must continue to have. I hate to talk negative about this coaching staff for a long period of time, because it's just like me talking about the wall and while it's holding up this building right now that I'm in. It's not going to change for me just talking about it. But at least some people can listen and hear what I'm saying. Here's the thing, Cowboy Nation. When we put in everything that we're looking at as it relates to this team from A to Z, and we start to talk about the historical data that's already out there about this team having a good year, bad year, good year, bad year, you see. And then all of the odd years is kind of crazy with Jason Garrett, been horrible years for us. And then we start to look at it like, man, we 3-0, and I do know we hear a lot of people saying that, wait a minute, Law, wait a minute. Didn't we start it off last year with a worse record? Can we just stop and pump the brakes and say to ourselves, aren't we better? And then on top of that, if you really digest when it's the odd years that Jason Garrett normally have even worse of a start off, can we just sit back and just wait for this thing to all unfold? But we as collectively Cowboy fans, we found ourselves a little bit impatient. Just naturally, we found ourselves a little bit impatient because what happened here, we was talking about getting over the hump in the earlier parts of Jason Garrett's, coaching career. And it didn't happen. We said, well, wait till we get this guy. And it didn't happen. So there's a segment of this population that will look at it and say, man, we are upset about this team. But when you really look at it, shout out to you, California Cowboy. He said, my boy, live like 95. Yes, indeed. But when you look at the total grand scheme of the total picture of everything, you will say to yourself, man, oh, yeah, man, if we can just match up this defense to stop the run, and if this offense can score early and often, who knows what this team is capable of doing. It can surprise the world. It can, because I saw the other day, minus the mistakes that the New York Giants were able to do, they faced the quote-unquote best team in the National Football League, and that is the New England Patriots. And it looks like they were giving them a run for their money. It did. It looked like they was giving them a run for their money, believe it or not. So I'm looking at it from these angles. If the Cowboys are able to just stand their ground and continue to play their style, and hopefully everybody else, if we can find a way to stop the bleeding as it relates to that defensive front four, we can grab hold to some of those wins. Let me know if I'm wrong, Cowboy Nation. I'm all open ears for you all. And if you want to call in, 682-214-4087. That's the number to call to be live like 95 with me. We got to get nasty out there. We're dogs at let me see what you says. I lost you where you said we're dogs. Yeah, we're dogs at it. Yeah, Michael Jones. Yes. I believe we are. We are some dogs at it. Is Le'Veon Bell worry next? Is a worry next game? You saw how Aaron Jones were able to run through our defense. This is Jake 2 times. Here's the thing. I don't know. I literally don't know. Now, in a perfect world, you would say that Aaron Jones shouldn't have had that type of game, and you would think that that game will be reserved for a Le'Veon Bell. But I'm thinking that the way we fly and the way we pursue to the game, to the ball, it's like that's our Achilles heel, because teams can use our aggressions against us. Teams can figure out ways to say, okay, if they're trying to shoot this particular gap, then what we need to do is run on the outside edge, and now the linebacker is squeezed inside. It sounds hard. It sounds difficult, but it's easy, right? It's easy to defeat the Cowboys when you plan those styles of defense, when you're not focused and you're not locked in. But one can argue that the Saints game, maybe, just maybe, you can swallow that. You lost by 2 points. You were on the road. The crowd noise were there. But then again, when you look at this home game, you see, it should have been an advantage for the Dallas Cowboys because there's no road factor. The quarterback can quiet down the crowd noise. But we were not able to gain the leverage or the edge in that game. Aaron Rodgers didn't even need to throw a touchdown pass. They ran, you see. And when I was talking about in my video, when I was talking about the fact that the coach put the blueprint out there, it wasn't more so to do with the running attack. No, it was also to do to how to stop and corral and chase and slow down Dak Prescott. They gave us a taste of our own medicine. They did time of possession. They played the 2 deep safeties, as well as they played press man coverage on the outside as it relates to the defensive backs. And with that, they gave Dak Prescott everything that he's used to been doing. Dump off passes underneath. They gave him that. They say, here you go. You want to pass to the running back in the flash? There you go. Here you go, Zeke. You can pass it to him all you want. You want to pass to a Jameis Olawale? Here you go. Let's give it to them. Let's give it to what they are looking for. And Dak Prescott, unfortunately, was not able to score in that game. Of course, the kicker missed the kick, as well as we was right there, and the coach was sitting there saying, okay, we're going to go for it on 4th and 1. You know how that went, right? And it didn't work out for us. So, but on the offensive side of the ball, the way they were able to capitalize, we're showing that they can dominate. Because At that time, think about this. And I know some people said in 2017 the Denver Broncos gave the blueprint. No, 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 no. Because we began to still score 28 points after the Denver Bronco game. But that Indianapolis game, Colts, it showed them that, hey, this team that was on the roll only allowed, it was week 15. Think about this. Week 15. And all the Dallas Cowboys defense gave up until week 15 was 14 points. Let that sink into your mental in the first quarter. Let that sink in. That is a lot different than what we are doing now. Think about that. Just think about it. Let that crawl into your mental. In 2000, I'm going to repeat, in 2018, the Dallas Cowboys all the way up until week 15, that's right, 2018 and all the way up to week 15. The Dallas Cowboys only allowed 14 stinking points. That's defense for you right there. That's defense in the first out of the first quarter. the coach trumped that by doing something different. They said, we're going to run that rock. We're going to run it right at them. And Eberflus knew everything about this defense. He knew what the linebackers were going to try to do. He knew Papa Rob Marinelli like the back of his hand. Gamerboy says, need to scheme with personnel. They have the AKA help Fleming with a RB chip and a R tight end. Talk to me more about that, Gamerboy. Is Le'Veon Bell? This is right here. Rogaine, yes, appreciate you. Corners need to play the ball instead of the face guarding. The way, and I'm glad that you mentioned this, Gamer Boy, the corners needs to play the ball opposed to face guarding. That one play that the guy, AB, were not able to turn his head around. He was in recovery mode. And I do know when the receiver reached out to the ball, if he'd have turned his head, coaches and DB coaches will always say, where your head goes, your body will follow. So the young DBs, turn your head around to the ball, right? But this team is designed, when they play defense, is to play the hands of the opposition. And Chris Richard does an excellent job of playing and teaching these guys to play aggressive. And unfortunately, we just don't have playmakers. I can't lie to kick it. We just don't have guys that are stingy enough to take the ball away from the opposition. We don't. And I wish that we can find some guys. I saw a tape of C.J. Henderson. I think it's Henderson of Florida. Good guy, flies out to the ball like no other. Maybe, just maybe, we can find a way to draft him next year. He got the height, he got the size that Chris Richard likes. But that's only if Chris Richard stays, you see. We need to have some type of level of consistency on this defense, though. I think that during the offseason, I hate to look at it from right now because the season is still young, to start seeing that, okay, is Rob Marinelli coming back for next year? I don't know. We don't know. But I would love to see a new wrinkle. I would love to see something different. Because remember, we were complaining about one of the Ryan, whatever the Rex Ryan or Rob Ryan. We had Rob Ryan, right? And we were complaining about how difficult that defense was because they had so many moving parts. They had so many things that were trying to go this way, and then we had so many things that were trying to go that way. And the problem was with that defense, for one, you had to have a personnel. It was more so of zone cover corners. And to me personally, when we had Brandon Hughes Carr, he was more of a press cover corner opposed to a zone guy. And that's why you saw the fall of our defense, because we had the wrong personnel in there, right? So that's so important. And then on top of that, you need guys to be able to make plays on the ball, regardless of how you look at it. Even before the Rob Ryan administration, I think the last guy that had a lot of interceptions for our team was Anthony, I want to say his name was Brown, and not Anthony Brown. What was his name? He played for us. came from the Cleveland Browns. His name's at the tip of my tongue, but regardless of here and there, Ken Hamlin had 1 year, 5 interceptions. I think that we would put a statue out there for a guy who can give us 5 interceptions. I think that we had Terrence Newman. He had 4 interceptions. So we had guys that was catching interceptions during those time frames. But Anthony Henry, that was his name. He was the last guy that had, I think, 6 interceptions for us, Dallas Cowboys team. Appreciate you, man. Hawk in VA. Anthony Henry was the last guy that had more than, I think, 5 or 6 interceptions within 1 year for the Dallas Cowboys. And then it was Ken Hamlin who had 5, for crying out loud. Boy, if Xavier Woods can get 5 interceptions within this year, we'll make a statue out of him, right? We'll put him somewhere in Arlington Stadium. We'll find a plaque or something like that, life-size plaque to put out there somewhere in Dallas land. You see, that's just the reality. Shout out to you, Young Wilson. Really appreciate you. Mike Jenkins had some his rookie year. I think his max was like 2 or 3. But outside of that, that was the last time we drafted playmakers, the last time we had a guy. I think that Terrence Newman, even though he was kind of like one of those players that stayed injured or what have you, he was kind of like, he remind me of, that never just stayed healthy, but he still was productive in a sense. We had 4 interceptions out of 1 year from him. That was crazy. Shout out to you, Savage Time. Really appreciate you. Who we got here? Dallas Cowboys will go 14-2. Go Cowboys, America's team. This is from Willie Osborne. We going to run. We going to run right now. You feeling that we gonna go on this run right now? That would be nice. That would be nice. Sorry, I'm late. Just Young Wilson. No, you're not late. You right on time, my brother. If you want to call in, 682-214-4087. And that will be the call-in number if you guys want to call in and speak your mental, speak what's on your mind about this team. And of course, we got all day Saturday to ponder upon and think upon this game. And then, of course, that Sunday, we going to be ready for him. Logan, he says, we were dead last in interceptions last year, and it's the problem this season as well. DBs need to play better. Oh, my goodness. Yeah. Dead last year, and we're on pace to being dead last again. We only got, one interception? One interception, and that was Cheeto Awuzie, right? I think, didn't the LVE had 2 interceptions last year? Didn't, I believe, LVE could have had 1. Or I think it was 1 or 2. And I think Xavier Woods had 2 or 3. 1 was taken away from him. And I think that D-Law had an interception as well. I'm just trying to go off of recall. Not pulling up any stats or anything like that. Historically, this team just don't take balls away. If we can use it in those contexts there. We love Jeff Heath. We love him. We love Jeff Heath. We love Xavier Woods. But the reality of those 2 players there is, although Xavier Woods had, 14 during his time in college, what have you. But that's college. And that's Louisiana Tech at that. So it's not like he was doing this in another conference or something like that. But we would look at that, and we would say, are we utilizing? And Byron Jones, he didn't have that many interceptions at UConn. He's not a guy that's going to, but he's a long, rangy guy that can put his hands in his side, and he's physical now. So we got to put those in our overall scheme of things. If you don't have a guy that was doing it in college, 9 times out of 10, when they get to the pros, they're not going to just miraculously find ways to take the ball away. But what I can say with all our DBs, even Anthony Brown, for crying out loud, they're solid. They're solid. They play the scheme decent. It's just that right now that our front four, our defensive front four, not as it relates to passing. I'm thinking that if we can finally get teams on the heels and we'll be up by at least 2 touchdowns, then I think that you'll see this front four go. I think that this front four is more so designed to stop the pass opposed to the run. Start with that. Yes, let's just win the next 2. This is Scott Vega. Yeah, if we could just win the next 2. All right. He said LV had 2. I do know that he picked off Carson Wentz once, and then who else he picked off? Scott, help me out. Who else did LVE picked out? Should have signed Earl Thomas. This is from John Thomas. Shout out to the Thomases. I don't know, man. It's one of those things where I think that Eric Berry is still out there, and a Donovan Wilson. If we can get a chance to see him out there on the field, I just want to see what he can do. I don't think that he regressed in a sense, but I'm thinking that the Cowboys need to figure out a way to play some of the young talent that was showing us something during preseason. I do know there's a different flavor, but it is what it is at this point. It went to voicemail. Let me see, because sometimes this thing, let me see if I can fix it. My bad if it's going to voicemail. Let me know. Just give me a call back and see whether or not it goes straight to voicemail, because sometimes the system acts phony with me. Let me make sure that I don't have any other icon open, and let me know if you are able to get through. The number is 682. No. Let me see. All right, so now you should be able to get through. 682-214-4087. Let me know if you are able to get through now if you call that number. And I apologize if you all are getting the voicemail. But you still leave me a voicemail message, or you can still text that number. It should be a hotline 24/7, especially if you look at it. He picked off Matt Ryan. There you go. Yeah. Appreciate you, Hawk. He picked off Matt Ryan. The ball bounced off of Ridley's chest, and he was able to scoop that up. So, yeah, you're right. Thank you for recalling my mind and my memory of that. Ben Wheezy says underrated live stream. Well, normally the algorithm may not be sending everything out because I normally don't go live at this time, and I had other live shows earlier today, and sometimes it would sometimes the system will not notify everybody, and I get a lot of people that will say, "Hey, Law, man, I didn't know you was live, man. I'm sitting here waiting for the notification." But it's one of those things where Jake, 2 times. See if you can get through now, man. I think I opened the phone line up. It's 682-214-4087. I'm not going anywhere. Shout out to you, Natasha. You just called again, and it went to the voice. See if you can call and see if you can get through now. If not, let me see if I can refresh. Let me see if I can just refresh this thing, man. Yeah, old Murphy Law always doing some crazy. It's old Murphy Law. He's part of the show as well. It's just one of those things. And I'm gonna put the number down in the chat. Then let me just do it like this: 682. Here we go. Just bear with me while I try to multitask. I'm gonna use the Mark Home lines. I'm old now. Y'all gotta bear with me. I'm old. Let me see. 682. Copy. I'm just gonna copy paste. There we go. 561. You're live on the Nation. Talk to me.
Oh, what's up, Law, man? This is Jake the Great, man.
Jake, man, what's up, man?
Back in on you, man. I ain't really have much to say. What's happening, man? Just chilling here in where am I at? Baton Rouge, Louisiana. You know what I'm saying? Heading back to Dallas, Texas. But yeah, man. Truck driver life, baby. It's what it is. Keeping America great, one load at a time. You feel me? But what I was gonna say, man. The hate on Dak just gotta stop, man. I was looking at this stat, you know what I mean? Numbers don't ever lie, So how can you have? Let me pull this up. This man got the second most wins since Tom Brady. 66% career passer rating. 66% completion. 97.4 passer rating. You know what I mean? Like, what else do you want the man to do? Like, the man is a winner. You know what I mean? He might not put up Patrick Mahomes stats, but he's a winner. You know what I'm saying? Like, they just got to get off the man's back and let him do what he do, because the same people that's hating on Dak now, if he ever takes it to the Super Bowl, and I believe he is, because I don't think he's nothing like Tony Romo. You know, the man is clutch. I also see that since 2016, no quarterback has more game-winning drives than Dak Prescott. You know, so a lot of people got to stop following that narrative of that ESPN talk where they like to bash the Cowboys because, you know, they got the star. But this man is a winner. You know, people like to hit the panic button from one loss. You know, we lost to Green Bay. We lost to
the Saints,
to the Saints. But people forget the Giants won 2 Super Bowls going 9-7 into the playoffs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So 2 losses ain't nothing, man. They just got to stop the hate on that because the man's numbers don't lie. You know, so that's basically all I had to say. You know, I just seen that you was live, and I just called in and checked in to make sure your phone was working good for you.
Man, I really appreciate you, man, for really checking that out, because I was like, man, I hope that this number is working, because people were saying that it was going straight to the voicemail. But I really appreciate you. Yes, the narrative of Dak Prescott can't win or can't throw is crazy. And then a lot of people like to blame it on stuff that's not factual. And then when we try to bring out the facts, they try to pull up a narrative that we are only talking good light of him because of his certain, premises and these sorts of things. But my thing is, Cowboy Nation, they just got to look at the tape and say to themselves, man, you really not that much different from the quarterbacks that are winning. And on top of that, if you look at Dak Prescott overall numbers, they are better.
Yeah, they are. And, you know, one thing, not to cut you off.
Go ahead.
I was a big Tony Romo supporter. Even when he was losing games, I believed in him. But something about Romo, when it gets to the fourth quarter, 2 minutes left, I get scared to death because he's done it so many times. And throwing a game, losing interceptions. All I remember from Romo is him walking up the field with his head down. But with that, when it comes down to that fourth quarter, I don't have that same feeling that he's just going to throw the game away. You know, and he hasn't done that. He doesn't show that he's going to throw the game with a pick. He's already proven that he's clutch. I don't know if the Cowboy fans are, like, expecting some extraordinary stuff from him, but the man's a gamer. And one more thing before I go. I can't say I hate the clappers, Jason Garrett, because that old style of coaching really don't work no more in today's NFL. You really can't get in these players' face and rah, rah, rah. You got John Gruden, but we don't know how long that's going to last in Oakland. You know, maybe he can be a little bit more, emotional, but all that fiery head coach, that stuff is played out. They don't have that. Bill Cowher left the NFL a long time ago. Coaches don't even coach like that no more. Do you see, how emotional do we see, what's the guy from the New England Patriots, the coach over there? I can't remember his name now.
Big Bill Belichick, huh?
Big Bill Belichick. The man don't smile. The man don't do nothing. He doesn't even clap, but they keep winning. So, I can't say I believe in Garrett. We just got to give him a chance. But if not, we get him out of there. But if someone thinks they're going to bring a coach in there and he's going to yell at grown men, it's just not going to happen, man. That kind of coaching is gone.
Yeah, I think that Bill Belichick is a whole lot different than what people like to perceive of him not being emotionless or being quiet on the sideline, because it's different, though. The guy's just weird, man. He bananas, man. I can't really put a thumb on it. He's in a whole nother world by himself. I can't compare any other coach to Bill Belichick. I can't.
Yeah, he probably yells at his players and talk about their mamas and stuff in the locker room or something. But on that field, he just got his poker face on. You know, Garrett, it's not really about Garrett. It's Jerry Jones. No coach is going to come in there and outrule Jerry Jones. If Jerry Jones wants you on that field, that's just what it's going to be. The only coach we had that was close enough to overtake Jerry Jones was Bill Parcells. We know how that ended up. You know, so until Jerry retires and gives the keys to the kingdom to Stephen Jones, you're never going to have that coach that we're looking for here in Dallas. So, that's just really all I got to say for now, So until next time, Law, keep up the great work, love the show, and hopefully Vox Lombardi's doing all right, man. I miss his post-game, live post-game reactions, So
Yeah, man.
Shout out to him too.
My guy Vach, man, he's gonna pull through, man. Got a little family issues there that's going through, and we just kind of put our prayers together, man. Put our hands together and put our prayers and thoughts out there for him, and continue to support Vach Lombardi. He's one of the greatest YouTubers out there, especially talking Cowboys. He's the best at it.
Yeah, man. You know, I got my top 4, actually 5. You know, you, Mark Holmes, even though he posts a lot of videos, I still got mad love for him. He gets me through my day when I'm driving. Vach, you know, Foots the King, and what's his face? Okoye, not to feel ashamed though. But you guys keep it up, man. I love everything you guys do, man. Have a great night. I'm gonna listen to the rest of the show and the rest of your comments, man.
Yes,
man, don't forget Jake the Great, man. I'll be texting you all the time on the live chats and stuff, you know. So
appreciate you, Jake, man. Appreciate it, man. Thank you for calling in.
All right, now.
Salute. That was a good call, man, from Jake the Great, man. Really excellent call, man. And shout out to my guys, man. It's everybody that's part of this YouTube underground. It's all, we all one big family. We all don't agree with each other, but just like I said with Auntie Shirley, spaghetti, you know how that go, right? But at the end of the day, man, can you guys close your eyes and imagine that one day you turn on ESPN and you probably see us there, or NFL Network talking about them? We got the 956 in the house. You're live here on the Nation. Talk to me.
Hey, man. This is Eric, also known as Jake Two-Time.
Jake Two-Time. 2 Jakes in a row, man.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? I just want to tell you, man. Big supporter, bro. I see you every live, like,
Appreciate
because
it.
When I want my Cowboys talk, you're the person I go to.
Oh my goodness, man! I really appreciate it, man.
Yeah, just a real quick question, because I have some friends that are also supporters of your channel.
Mm-hmm.
Every time we watch the game, they always bring up a suggestion. They always say, "Man, they need to run Zeke and Pollard in the personnel together.
Mm-hmm.
Them two together always kill it." I mean, do you honestly see the Cowboys running a personnel like that?
That would be 20 personnel. The way that they have their blocking scheme set up, that they don't trust running that personnel without a tight end. So maybe you can try to run 21 personnel, but you know who you going to take off the field. You know, when you look at it in those fashions. And that's just the problem with a quote unquote offense that's pulled from Scott Linehan's system. Although you got Kellen Moore throwing his new wrinkles in, but I would say that they run it sometimes. So it's just that. Who are you gonna pull off the field in order to have those 2 running backs out there in the backfield? You see?
Yeah. That's what I always be telling my friend. You always got to keep one fresh.
Right. And trust me, the season is still young, and sometimes they don't want to showcase everything. They want to be able to pull up some things later on down the line. So we just got to be patient with it. Of course, we're 3-2 right now, and a lot of people think the world is caving in. But I just look at it from that aspect, is that they say some of the stuff, you know. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because right now, I mean, I'm pretty sure probably every Cowboys fan like this right now. But I mean, of course, you gotta be shaky after losing 2 in a row.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, I hope this game could be I know this game will be the bounce back, and I ain't worried about the Eagles, but. You honestly feel that we could probably snap off a streak these next couple games?
Say again. I didn't hear you. What'd you say?
You honestly feel, you know, since we lost back-to-back, you know, every Cowboys fan is shaky about it. Mm-hmm. You really feel we could probably maybe pull off a streak, knowing we have New England coming up. The Bills are pretty good this year.
Yeah, I think we can pull off a winning streak, but the bye week can't get here soon enough, right? Or fast enough, because Amari Cooper, he's still battling injuries. We can really look at Michael Gallup. He would need that rest still on his knees or what have you. And then on top of that, we just got to have this offensive line at 100%. So the bye week can't get here fast enough. I think that if we can pull off this win this weekend and then pull off the win against the Eagles, because the thing is, when you start talking about Jason Garrett,
we will.
Okay, you're speaking into the existence. I love it. but we will.
One thing about me, I don't like the Eagles for nothing. So don't even bring the Eagles up on this cast.
Right. I can't stand them, man. But we got to dominate against them. I'm thinking that this right quick. Jason Garrett, regardless of how we look at Jason Garrett, he's so consistent with the way he dressed, right? I'm thinking that with Jason Garrett, he may just have a number on all of the teams from the NFC East. He might have a number on them.
I mean, it proves it. I mean, ever since Dak came in the league, what's his record against the Eagles?
Oh, my goodness.
I mean,
it's good.
Yeah, number. I mean, he's a killer. He's an Eagle killer, man.
Oh, yeah. He's an Eagles killer and a Redskin and the Giants. Well, Giants had our number for half of the season.
It's making the whole NFC East, man.
Yeah, he's the whole NFC East killer, yeah.
Yeah, and one more real quick question.
Talk to me.
So you think Amari Cooper is the number one receiver in the league?
He's on pace of being that, and we're not a pass-first system. But although the numbers are saying that we are right now, I think that Michael Thomas got a few more receptions than him right now.
I mean, man, as a diehard Cowboys fan, of course I'm gonna root for whoever's on my team. But man, bro, can you tell me who runs like better routes than this dude? I mean, this dude, you saw he was killing Alexander.
Yeah, he was killing Alexander, but I can't sleep on the Hopkins kid down there and south of us down there in Houston. I like the way he run routes. I like the way he approach and greets the ball in space. Alshon Jeffers, even though he got the dropsies too, he runs pretty good, decent routes. Although he round heads off a little bit. Odell Beckham, Jarvis Landry, those are some good route technicians. You can't sleep on Adams, not Adam Thielen, but the other Adams. Yeah, I
saw some stuff on Instagram that Odell Beckham's up in the trade block. I don't know if you saw that law, but I saw it. I mean, I'm a fan of him. I mean, what you think?
We get so much attention, whether it's negative or positive, and I'm looking at this coaching staff, and I just think that we don't turn that corner to get a guy like Odell Beckham. I love his skill set. I love what he can bring out there to the table, but the money that he's going to be asking for, and it's going to be too much. I think that we got a dime out of Gallup, and who's gonna give up the number,
Yeah. And in the alternate world, that would be perfect. A Coop and Beckham receiver, but I feel like Gallup would just pull through for us.
Oh yeah, Gallup is becoming. He's the X receiver, believe it or not, on this team. And if you can close your eyes and imagine if you can put Odell Beckham inside the slot, that would be like just crazy,
man.
But no, that won't happen. No.
Man. But you know what? I'm honestly, I want to see how Gallup is at the end of the season, because man, I bet you can learn so much off the route tree and everything off Coop.
Right.
Man, so I mean, hopefully when that contract year comes for Gallup, I mean, we can keep him. But yeah, he's one of the better players I like on this team.
Oh yeah, man, it's amazing for us to pick up Gallup, and I think that his overall off field and his temperament. I don't think that I think he's more in line of what Amari Cooper is doing right now, playing on it, betting on himself type of deal. So we blessed, man. We blessed to have Gallup and Cooper on this team, man. We blessed.
Yeah, I mean it just I feel like Coop brings that confidence with him since Alabama in his days.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, it was nice talking to you. I just wanted to come check in, show you my support, and thank you for taking the time.
No, man. Thank you, man. Enjoy the rest of your day, man. Thank you, man. Salute.
Yeah, you too.
That was a good call, real good call, Cowboy Nation. That would be intriguing, but I don't think the Cowboys would spend any type of resources on picking up Odell Beckham. And please don't talk about Antonio Brown. We just don't have the longitude and latitude to pick up those type of guys. I think that we've been burnt already with TOs of the world, and I would rather for us to believe it or not, I would hate to say this though out loud, but I would rather for Dez Bryant to show his face back up, opposed to any of those guys we just mentioned. don't shoot me, Cowboy Nation. Don't crucify me. But that's what I would rather see, opposed to what we're seeing now out there on the field. D-Hop and Julio is the best. Yeah, Julio. Yeah, I forgot about him. Julio is a route technician as well. He's a very aggressive guy, not afraid to high point the ball and things like that. But give me Amari Cooper though. That Amari Cooper, he's running out there with a half of a foot almost. You can see that he's already banged up, and he's still getting separation, and he's still able to be a nuanced route runner in and out of his breaks. He's doing a great and fantastic job, Cowboy Nation. So, and D-Hop is nasty with the ball. It's like D-Hop can run some of those routes, but the way he can jump catch, 50-50 the ball, D-Hop is nasty with it. Michael Thomas, shout out to the Thomas, he's nasty with it as well. But out of those guys, the skill set that I like more so than any of those guys is still Amari Cooper. We loving what we are seeing with Amari Cooper, although he can't high point the ball like Thomas and Julio. But the nuanced this route running ability, man, is just crazy. And he's doing it injured. Just think about if he was healthy. Just think about it. It's crazy. Gallup going to be our next camp. Let me see. Who is Dallas Made 19 says Gallup going to sit out next camp and get paid. Keep this up. No, I don't think Gallup is going to be one of those guys that sit out. I just don't see him doing it, you see. Gallup is different. Gallup is a whole lot different. D's Nuttz said, please stop bringing up Dez. D's Nuts said, please stop bringing up Dez. It's just that it's not my words. It's just what Jerry Jones did say, that Dez is Superman. And they asked him a question: who do you think that will be able to come back and play for the Cowboys, or who do you think will be able to come back and play? Will it be Tony Romo or Dez Bryant? And I do know that this is just him talking, but he said Dez is Superman, But it is what it is at this point. AB would destroy a locker room. This is from George. I agree. That's why I say stay far, far away from that guy, right? Still needs Zeke to go beast mode. Give him the rock. This is from Israel 777 or 777. Yeah. We can look at it in those aspects of it. Let's see what we got over here. Really appreciate you for tuning in to the Nation. 520, come talk to me.
Yes, right. It's Uncle Davis, the big Stelios 300.
Yes, what's going on, Unc?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, sponsored by Stelios 300 Cowboys. That's right.
Yes, indeed, man. Yeah.
Hey, how's it going? Yeah, I hear everybody talking about Garrett and stuff. Well, yeah, Garrett's going to be Garrett.
Yeah.
Just had me thinking back to that movie Blade when Blade was fighting Deacon Frost. He's talking about there's always some MF trying to ice skate uphill. That's what I think about the narrative.
Yeah.
And if anybody didn't know already that Gallup was the X, I don't know what to tell you. It should be obvious.
Yeah.
He is the X.
He's the X.
He is the X. He is the one, the playmaker. I don't care what their numbers are. You don't got to get 2,000 yards receiving and 80 touchdowns. All you got to do is be consistent, and that's what you want. You want consistency out of the running game. You want consistency in the passing game. That means receivers got to make them catches. You got to make catch. As long as you're consistent, that's all that's all that matters. You're consistent, and you play the game like you're supposed to play it and win the game. You don't play not to lose, flat out. So I don't know what people aren't understanding. Oh, well, they're playing not to lose. Well, the Saints was a tough team. The defense was tough.
Mm-hmm.
And the offense adapted. And Green Bay, they adapted. They got beat by the Eagles. They figured they're not going to get knocked out twice by an NFC East team. Right. So you can expect those kind of losses. It's just when that bye week comes up, then that's when everybody can start. What's the phrase? Everybody can get right. Mm-hmm. Everybody can get right.
Right.
It's just got to have that consistency and get these games in. These are winnable games till till a bye week.
Oh yeah,
they're winnable games.
And we got to understand this too. We got to understand this right here, is that we have to go through some growing pains. It's like Kellen Moore is going to just walk on water and turn water into wine.
Oh well, yeah.
he had to go
did
through
for
some
3
growing
weeks,
pains.
but he did for 3 weeks, but you can't expect that to be consistent.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's what comes back into the part about performance.
Mm-hmm.
Performance, the offensive line performing up to standard or above the standard.
Mm-hmm.
The defense is working out fine. It's just that middle they need to shore up. They get that middle shored up. It's just a blueprint for everybody else just to keep taking up the middle.
Oh yeah.
And Rashard's working on it, and he's getting them addressed, and I'm sure they're going to get addressed here with the Jets. They're going to get addressed here with the Jets. So everybody just needs to just take a chill pill and relax and start getting comatose every time the Cowboys lose or about at me. So they got blasted. So they got blasted right off the bat when they played Green Bay.
Right.
But they showed resilience fighting back.
Oh yeah.
They could have stayed at 3 points, but no. And everybody might think it's garbage time. You know what? Hey, they're starting to get into rhythm. You got to get into a rhythm. You ain't going to start out fast. Ain't no team's going to start out fast. I don't care if you're the Patriots. And the only way any team is going to win any matchups that they have during the week, the only way they're going to for sure win is if the other team don't show up.
Right.
Is that what everybody's expecting? Y'all expecting the Patriots not to show up, and show out? You expect the Bills not to show out? You expect the Jets not to show out? Mm-hmm. They're going to try. They're going to go with their game plan.
Oh yeah.
Bills going to go with their game plan.
Yeah.
I think we might have a problem with the Bills.
They're going to trust what they saying on tape, and they're going to try to take away what you do best. And my thing is, I was saying this earlier, that sometimes we have to study the strengths of the opposition and take away what they do best, and then also capitalize and make their strength their weaknesses. I think that we need to start doing that a little bit more, you see.
Yeah, show you right. Joe, you're right.
Man, we got to.
Preach on, brother, preach.
Yeah, man.
Well, I'm at work now, so I better get off this phone before I get busted. But I just figured I'd just chime in here real quick. But everybody relax on Garrett. He'll probably be gone at the end of the year. He'll get to the playoffs. He gone. He gone. 10 years, Jared. I'm put with this for 10 years.
Yeah, it's a long time.
And he ain't no spring chicken.
Yeah.
Even if we do get the Super Bowl, it might be the last one. He gets a seat. He might die the day after the Super Bowl. Y'all don't know. We don't know. We don't know. But he's trying to get his, and the team's gonna get right. It's not that they can't get right; they gonna get right. So everybody just needs to chill, sit down, have your cup of coffee, and whatever snacks you got, and watch the game. And if you get hypertension or something like that, and after you watching the game, well, you need to go see a doctor, or you need to just quit just watching.
Right.
You feel me? You feel me?
Man,
all right.
I feel you.
I'm gone.
Appreciate you,
I'm out.
Dave.
Nice talking to you. All right. Oh, hey.
What's up?
I'm gonna catch you at one of these games. So don't show up Thanksgiving Day for that game. Be with the family. I'm going to be there. I'm going to be there.
Right.
I'll make sure I'm there. I'll catch one of the other games later on in the November, December, somewhere in November, December.
Just hit me up. Text me, hit me up, let me know, and I'll try to see. But like you said, the Thanksgiving game, I may be with the fam. You see.
No, you got to be with the fam. I bet not see you there.
The
That's all I got to say.
Okay.
I bet not see you there. I better not see you there because that guy that looks like that James Harden. No, it's the other way around. James Harden looks like Law.
Right.
Keep it straight, y'all.
Yes,
keep it straight.
Family
all
first.
right, well, I'm out.
Indeed. Appreciate you. Salute.
I'm out. Deuces.
Oh, good old Uncle Dave, man. Let me know. I better not be at that game, man. I wouldn't have the patience and these sorts of things to be just comfortably sitting in the stadium at the game anyway, especially on Thanksgiving. Like to enjoy being with the family. sitting back and watching the game and these sorts of things. A lot of people I'm reading saying that Jason Garrett needs to go, not should go, but needs to go. I don't know, man. It's one of those things where I say, man, it's going to be a different world. It's going to be a new life, a new different meaning to life as it relates to Dallas Cowboys football when Jason Garrett ever leaves, because you would miss. How you doing, guys? You're going to miss all of that, right? It's for 10 years. That's a long time. Some of you guys didn't even have hair on your faces 10 years ago, you see. And that's a long time for anybody to be a head coach for a professional team. That's a lot of money, too. A lot of money he made over the course of the years. So, I mean, it'll be a different world. The biggest opponents, this is from George, the biggest opponents of the Cowboys are the Cowboys. Man, I agree. Even Dak Prescott and others were saying, like, look, man, we got to stop shooting ourselves in the foot. We got to stop making these little bonehead plays and things like that. And trust me, the fumble in the Saints game was very, very beneficial to the Saints. The 2 fumbles at that. And then we lost by 2 points. So you can argue and say with yourself, man, if these 2 guys didn't fumble the ball, maybe we're looking at this thing a whole lot different. And then on top of that, one of the fumbles wasn't a fumble. But this NFL, the officiating that's going on right now with the officials is very crass. It's horrible. It's despicable. The NFL need to figure out ways to combat against that. But it's a story of a different day. Gary showed some emotions last week. This is from Dre the Great. He did. And I think the team kind of rallied around that. And they said, okay, that Amari Cooper's catch on the sideline was fantastic. It was. And you see that Chris Richard showed emotions. Kellen Moore showed emotions. The ball boy showed emotions. We showed emotion to everybody. The cheerleaders on the sideline was mad at it. They was like, look, he caught the ball. And I think that everybody saw that he caught it. Even Stephen Wonder knew that he caught the ball. But the NFL, they pandering around. Young Wilson, the officials are a joke. Yeah, they are some clowns, right? If anybody needs to see a good movie this weekend, go see The Joker. It was a very good movie. I enjoyed every piece of that movie. It was great. Shout out to the guy. I think his last name is Phoenix. He played that Joker role. He did a fantastic job. I know nobody's Heath Ledger, but this guy, he did a great job of the movie. I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but it's a movie. It got a little dialogue to it. It's not all the way action, but the story is necessary. Every piece, every frame of the movie was necessary, and I enjoyed every piece of that movie. And I think that you all that's following DC Comics or Marvel Comics, either one, you will enjoy, I guarantee. Jimmy Johnson always had to say, Jason needs to go, Law. And this is Scott Cook. And this is from Israel 777. Jimmy Johnson, all I have to say. Jimmy Johnson is all you have to say. Jimmy Johnson, is it Joaquin Phoenix? Yeah, appreciate you. Or Joaquin Phoenix. Yeah, Richard, really appreciate you. Ramirez, really appreciate you. Think positively, Cowboy fans. Speak winning into existence. Yes, 2010. 2010, yes. Thou shalt decree a thing, and it shall be established. So, yeah, if we continue to think positive, positive forces will start following you, you know. The positive mindset, things all of a sudden, the world and the universe start bending your way. It's crazy how that thing can work out. It's crazy. Just think about it. Think about this. If you can only do 3 push-ups a night, right? If you maximize the maximability of push-ups, you can do 3. Just start thinking 4. Then all of a sudden, you're going to look up and you're doing 6. It's just crazy. That's how life works. I don't know why it works that way, but it just works that way. And we are all born winners, believe it or not. You know, it was a certain way that we got here on this planet, and we had to beat out a lot of stuff to get here. And right now, we are above all odds. His team need to show some emotions in the beginning of the game. Score the ball. Stop coming from behind. This is Tyreek. I agree, Tyreek. I agree. This team need to figure out ways. 682-214-4087 is the number if you want to call in. Teams need to figure out ways to start off fast and actually, when we get to the money zone, green zone, red zone, score. Score. Do not look and settle for the field goal to make some kicks. No, you got to figure out how I smell blood in the water. I need to taste it. I need to get this thing going. I need to score. Yes. Really appreciate you, Young Wilson, for the donation to help grow the nation. Thanks for being one of the best shows on YouTube. Yeah, Young Wilson, really appreciate you, man. You really do, man. Thanks for the super chat. Everything goes back to the nation. That's why you guys can see this wonderful display, wonderful arts and all this stuff. And got some things that's going to be working around in the corner for us. I'm talking about some fantastic opportunities for us down the line. And it's going to happen. You guys are going to look up one day and say, man, this law was telling the truth about it. And if you think I'm lying, just go to YouTube and see where we started at and see where we are at now. And here's the thing for anybody that want to start a YouTube channel. I get this all the time. People say, what do I need, Law? What do I need? All you need is a cell phone. All you literally need is a cell phone. When I was out there in Oxnard, I left everything. I only had a cell phone, you see, in a selfie stick or some type of stick to put your phone on and just start talking about your team. Start talking about something you're passionate about. I've seen all the time people on YouTube that got 1 million followers and all they do is talk about toys. Or somebody talk about cars, or somebody talk about how to cook rice. I saw a YouTube video, somebody boiling water, for crying out loud, got over 2 million, 3 million views, because that's what they passionate about, you know. So all you got to do is get a camera on a cell phone and start from there. And I'll help you out. There are other platforms and things that you can utilize as well. I'm just giving away you guys all the information that you need. There's a thing called TubeBuddy. Use TubeBuddy. Write this down if you don't. If you're looking for information on that, TubeBuddy, just write that down. You can download that onto your desktop, and it will help you out with the tags and the search engines, because that's half of the game, and also with the wonderful thumbnail. You can do all of that on YouTube, believe it or not, and on Facebook and Instagram and Twitch, as well as all those other platforms I'm on. No Polar says, what's up, Law? Everything is up right now. I'm just ready for this game. I'm ready to see this team. I'm scratching and I'm itching for this game to occur, because I'm still waiting to see how the Cowboys are going to respond to all these back-to-back losses. I'm trying to see what type of team is going to show up come Sunday. I'm really waiting to see this. And then on top of that, if you really think about the Sam Darnold who's going to be back, for crying out loud, I'm thinking that he's going to be rusty a little bit. I'm thinking that if you look at the offensive line for the Jets, from what we were able to see last week, what the Eagles were able to do, I want to copycat what the Eagles did. You see what I'm saying? I want to get 9 or 10 sacks. I want some too, right? We want to put the quarterback down in the dirt. I do know that I'm gonna hear some Eagles fans talking about, well, y'all don't have the personnel, but I'm thinking that with Robert Quinn, who got fined $21,000 this weekend because of the hit from last weekend, who got fined $21,000, I think Wednesday or Thursday, the NFL laid a fine on him for just playing football for a late hit. He's going to appeal it, but I really want him to continue to keep that same energy. I really think that he's on pace to being one of the best off-season acquisition that we had in the many of days. Of course, we can talk about the Amari Cooper, but I want him to have the shine and the spotlight for this year, right? Young Wilson said, please hit that like button, man. Just don't hit it, smash it, break it. You know, tell YouTube I don't like this button so many times on Law Nation page that I done broke it. Yes. We made it to the top of the hour. It is 11 o'clock. I said I'm going to do a marathon show, so we're going to at least try to stretch this thing out to 12 o'clock. Are you guys down for the calls? Let me know. Let me know, because I can talk about Cowboys all day. I can talk Cowboys all day, baby. We can do this thing. Really appreciate you, Viral. Yes. Really appreciate you, man, for the donation and help grow the nation. I'm going to see if my AI can pick that up and see if they can reach out and talk to you all. There we go. Give me my claps. There we go. Yes.
I agree with Young. You keep us all connected to Cowboys Nation. Love or show Law.
Appreciate it, man. Really, 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 really appreciate you. Yes, thank you for the super chat. Sheila Neal, she says, "Hey, Law, what's going on with you, Sheila?" Oh, Sheila. 35-10 Dallas Cowboys. Now, although I'm got all of this energy talking about the Cowboys winning, I do have us winning for 17-13. I think that we need to pull away one of those close games. And I know that I'm going to hear a lot of people saying that, wait a minute, Law, what happened to 28? Well, I picked 28 points 2 games in a row, and we didn't do that. So this score, 17-13, Cowboys find a way to be victorious. Everybody's going to squeeze together, come together. And I do know that a lot of people will say, hey, man, this team is 0-4, and you mean to tell me that you only put up 17 points? But what I'm thinking is that we need one of those close games. Joshua, shout out to you, man. He says, what it do, Law? All day, every day. John Thomas, shout out to the Thomases, man. He said, let's do it. Let's go. Where the music at, Law? I'm amped up. Salute. You want me to get it crunk, man? Let me see if I can find this music for you all. Let me know. I don't want to scare you all. Let me see if I can go to this boss mode music. I call it boss mode. Let's see. Yeah. Y'all like this one? Yeah. Let me formulate your mind. Let me calculate everything together and let me put things in the right perspective. If you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs, if you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, if you can wait and not be tired by waiting or lie about don't deal in lies or hate it and yet give way to hating and yet don't look too good nor talk too wise. If you can think and not make thoughts your aim, if you can meet with triumph and disaster and treat those two imposters just the same, if you can bear to hear the truth you spoke, twisted by knaves to make a trap for fool or watch the things you gave your whole life for, broken and stooped and build back up again with worn out tubes. Cowboy Nation, you can find a way to. Yeah. Yes. George, we can get back to scoring 30 points a game. We just got to figure that out. Right? Meaning that we cannot fall on the sword. We got to continue when a ball is thrown your way. Open up your hands. Don't let the ball hit your body or chest. Receive it. Pluck the ball out of the sky. That's what we got to do. Dak Prescott, he got to go through his reads and his progressions a whole lot better. Ezekiel Elliott, when he see the hole, hit the hole. That's what you got to do. See the hole, hit the hole. Tony Pollard, when he gets out there on the field, he got to take advantages of his opportunity. Opportunity is not given to everyone, right? So when he's out there on the field, he got to be able to get that chance out there to make it happen. Squeeze through a hole. The offensive line, they got to protect. They got to make sure that nobody is penetrating the A gap or the B gap or the C. So they got to figure those things out as well. Move those hips, kick outside. Protect your quarterback, especially on the blind side. And then on top of that, if you're talking about the tight end committee, I'm going to break this thing down one by one. The tight end committee got to figure this thing out. When the ball is headed or traveling your way, let me just turn my music down all the way a little bit. Oh, reliable. Hey, reliable, I don't think that he should be challenged this game, right? We shouldn't even try to throw the ball his way. They got a stingy, and I'm talking about a stingy guy named Jamal Adams. You do not want to give him no momentum. The guy can hit. He's not afraid to lay the wood. And then on top of that, he's an opportunistic type of defensive back, or you can say safety in those parameters. And this is something that old reliable got to be aware of. Catch the ball. You caught the ball. Glory be that you caught the ball. Don't try to get upfield and scoot. Because they're going to be jarring. They're going to be punching for the ball. He got to understand that, hey, catch the ball, fall down like Family Guy. But hold on to the ball. But Blake Jarwin, let him be the tight end that can get upfield. Let him run that seam route. But I think that you can really take advantage of Blake Jarwin's speed and his skill set. Let's go. Yes, indeed. Boy, that's as much fire that I can give you guys. Yes, indeed. God of War. Yes, say it, Kamikaze Law. Yes. We got to be really, we got to be really willing to run into the burning bridge or run into the burning fire. We got to be. Dallas 20, Jets 6. This is from Young Wilson. Yes, indeed. Get that Cheeto headband going. Yes, Dallas Cowboys 365. A lot of people ask me where I get this headband from. I got it from, I think, the first preseason game. No, I got it from the Texans versus Dallas Cowboys preseason game. They handed this out to everybody who attended the game. So that's where I got this from. So I will be reaching out to the company that made this headband because I get tons and tons of people asking how can they get some headbands. Maybe, just maybe, they can throw some love over here and can send about 150 of these headbands for free $99, and I'll just pass them out like candy. Hopefully, on the high end, that's what I'm hoping. But on the low end, if they want to charge a brother for it, I think that the nation that made enough donation for me to reach into my pockets so I can still get them for you all. So when I turn on my YouTube TV, I can see y'all with the same headbands, and we can just headband this thing out. In a small corner somewhere, I'm telling them, man, can y'all put like Law Nation way in the back somewhere? That would be cool, right? Yes. We just started. Or this stream is ending. This Dallas Cowboys 365. This stream is going, baby. This is not gonna end no time soon. I've been live for an hour and 12 minutes. I thought I was gonna do a marathon show. You know, I thought I was gonna be able to do a show like all the way until like from here all the way until like 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. But we're gonna try to at least see when we get to 12. Or until my screen to just stop or something like that. We're gonna see how far we can go. Now we going to 12. This is Logan Miller. Yes. We some all night riders, baby. And the call-in number is there. So if you guys get tired of me talking, just call me. You just give me a call. Say law. The call-in number is 682-214-4087. Just give me a call. Give me a call. Give me your thoughts. You control this. You control this show for right now, right? Sunday we shall bounce back 4-2. Let's get it done. Oh, who the Eagles play this weekend? Because the New England Patriots just beat the Giants, so the Giants, they slow down their momentum because Lord knows that the Giants were able to beat the New England Patriots. We would look back and say, man, the Giants are for real. So the New England Patriots did what they wanted to do with the Giants, right? For crying out loud, they already won the Super Bowl. That's what they saying. And now who the Eagles got to play? Because we're not worried about the Washington. They gone. That's over with for their season for 2019. You know, I'm not going to think that the Washington all of a sudden going to find life, right? The Vikings, okay, Dallas made 19. Really appreciate you. So we looking at it from here. Reaching, not teaching. Yes. You guys know about it. When the wide receiver and the defensive back trying to reach, this when you're teaching, right? But here's the thing, Cowboy Nation. The Vikings. We play the Vikings too. I think that the Vikings defense, if they can show us something against those Eagles, like because the Eagles, we know that the Jets kind of sort of play decent with as it relates to defense against the Eagles. But I'm thinking that the Vikings, if they can sprinkle some of their defense and plus add some offense, maybe it can be a challenging game for the Eagles. And now, can somebody let me know whether or not that's a away game for the Eagles or a home game for the Eagles? Let me know. Gamerboy, Dallas made, yes. Yes, Texas kid, he says, Law, don't worry. Yes, indeed. Karate kid, yeah, I know a little karate. I ain't no black belt or anything, you know. I'm a country belt, you know, from the bottoms of Mississippi, you know. Yes, indeed. You and Holmes, two of the best Dallas Cowboys YouTubers, bar none. Dallas Cowboy 365. Look, I look at it in these fashions right here. All of those guys are better than me. You know, the Mark Holmes, the Voch Lombardi, the Okoye, the Shannon. The Shango. I'm calling them Shannon. Shango. All of those boys, Foots the King. But when you guys are listening to nothing but the best. But they are the best in their perspective, skill sets, and things like that. You're just listening to nothing but the best. I just say that when you guys hear me, I'm the best at when you hear nothing but the best. But they are actually the best at what they do, hands down. It's the way. And Big Game James, don't sleep on Big Game James. There's another community of Cowboy fans that a lot of people are not aware of, like Big Game James on Facebook and West Coast Cowboys. Man, they bring in the heat. Boss Cowboy, JoJo replays, man. It's Skywalker. We got my guy producer G and DDP. All of those boys is on the Facebook panel, man. Man, it's like a whole different world that we haven't even tapped into. I'm telling you, Cowboy Nation, this nation is big. And CJ, I forgot CJ last name. It's on YouTube. Just type in CJ Cowboy, and you'll see some of his videos. And then we can talk about the Scooter. What's his name? Scooter. I forgot his last name. But he does like the reactions. It's funny. I can't wait. I'll be like waiting for his reactions. What is Scooter last name? McGrew or McGraw, something like that. He's very funny. And Country Wayne, man, Country Wayne, like Country Wayne and Victor, I believe that's his name too. These comedians, man, it's funny, man. It's like through the course of a week, I kind of like Mondays and Tuesdays, I kind of get my comic relief from those guys, right? And I try to, like on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, I kind of tune into my guy Voch, and I tune into Okoye, and I try to watch Mark Holmes. I try to catch Mark Holmes on Mondays and Fridays as well. But, my schedule is so busy. So I be trying to catch all of these people. But it's like sometimes like, I didn't get a chance to watch all of Okoye film this week. I didn't get a chance to watch every angle that Voch Lombardi was able to put in this week. But eventually by Sunday, I'd have watched everybody's video. Yes. They play the Vikings. Are they playing at Vikings, or are they playing Eagles away? It may be hard for those Eagles. It may be hard for those Eagles, huh? Because when we play those Vikings, man, it goes all the way back to when Tony Romo, when we played those Vikings, when we was in the playoffs. And those who know me, man, y'all know for sure that it kind of like, when I hear this, although we beat them in Dak Prescott rookie's year, but still, when I hear that horn, man, it's like it was that playoff game, and I thought for sure that we was going to be able to beat those Vikings, and I still cringe, man, when I hear that noise. And sometimes when those Vikings, when they get that lead on you, boy, and that stadium, boy, it's so loud. Man, I be wishing sometimes that we had something like that. Now, we have something similar. We play the purge horns and stuff like that, but nothing. I'm going to play it one more time, man. Woo-wee. Man, it just does something to me, man. And I just saw my guy Tony Romo laid out, and I really think that George Sensabaugh is still trying to turn his head around from a guy. Was it Sidney Rice that caught that pass? I think he still haven't turned it. Look, we're talking about people not turning their head around. If he could have just turned his head around. Man, do you guys remember that game? Let me know if you do, man. If you remember that game. Magruder, yeah, okay. And C.J. Richardson. Yes, appreciate you, Eddie. Yes, indeed. Who is Lewis, though? You can call. Yes, Lewis, you can call. Yeah, who is Lewis? Let me know. Talking Cowboys and my Cowboys family. Talking Cowboys, my Cowboys family, The Break, Hanging with the Boys. They are great shows as well. But Viral you got to have some people that talk some noise, you know. Mark Holmes, he does talk a lot of noise, which is good. I like that because he got that old man vibe to it, you see. And he comes from a place and a time that's how older guys used to talk, you know. So shout out to him though, Vero. That skull chant, I didn't really hear them do the skull chant. That's something that they must just started to do, right? Cali Cowboys 805. Shout out to you, man. Shout out to you. All 63 of you all is here. I heard some interesting facts this morning on the Herd from Cali Cowherd. What did you hear, man? Let me know. Post that down in the comment box. Minnesota is tough at home. Yes. And it's crazy. Yes, Jake the Great. It's tough when you lose against those Vikings and you hit that horn. And my thing is, they got a good running back situation. The kid is just super fast. I think he's not injured, right? Let me know. And I love Adam Thielen, the way he catches the ball. He's a good catcher. He's a high point guy. He don't round his routes. He's pretty good. And Diggs is very complimentary to his skill set. And the tight end, I think that their tight end is still healthy, right? So all of those guys, man, it's just that they got Kirk Cousins, you know. And we already know what Kirk Cousins does, right? It's going to be one of those games where the stage going to be big, and Kirk Cousins just need to do us one good favor. Not saying that we begging him to, because we can handle our own, but Kirk Cousins just need to do us one good favor, right? And I'm not begging for Kirk Cousins to do our job. No. But I just like the humble Eagles versus those rowdy Eagles. If anybody, because the first 3 weeks, man, I promise you, the Eagles were humbled. My chat box was clear. I didn't get all of this, hey, fly Eagles, fly stuff, you know. But as soon as the Eagles start winning, all of a sudden, as soon as we start losing those 2 games in a row, the Eagles like, yeah, see, we got a chance. You see. No more nicknames for our defense, hot boys, etc. This till we get better, Law. We looking suspect. This is from Scott Cook. Man, you said a mouthful. You said a mouthful. But I can't wait to see how these Cowboys respond, because Antoine Barbecue Woods, who we didn't get a chance to see the last 2 games, of course, because he's battling an injury, he responded to the 49ers, and he said, y'all some whack guys, you know, on Twitter or something like that, about them utilizing and using the Hot Boys image and logo. You see, he said they whack. So normally, you know, when a guy that size speak out, he can show us something. Can anybody let me know whether or not Antoine Barbecue Woods is going to play this weekend or next weekend? Let me know. Please put that down in the comment box. Help a brother out. This is from Vera. I'd rather respect my opponent. Mark always talking trash and never respectful. This is from Viral, and I hope I'm saying your name right. Yeah, I mean, sometimes, you know, people it's just how people are, you know, and trust me, it can come back to bite you, and it can come back to help you in certain factors. It's just that, you know, that's just how he does it. I do a trash talking. I do trash talking. It's crazy. Me being from Mississippi, it's crazy. My mom is a diehard New Orleans Saints fan, and I'm from Mississippi, right? And I hated the Saints growing up, especially growing up in the 80s. You really had no choice, but I was sitting there like, wanting to watch my Cowboys play on TV, and the dang on Saints on TV, you know, because that's the show that they showed locally. We didn't have direct TV during the time, and they would show those Saints. And I wished that the 49ers beat the Saints so bad, or whoever they play that weekend so bad, that they switch over to my Cowboys so we can watch my Cowboys play. And the first player that I ever gravitated to was Everson Walls, you see. So it's crazy. But I'm saying all this so I can contextualize it. My mom she called me right before the Saints game, and she said, son, we're going to let bygones be bygones. But who that is going to whoop your Cowboys' tail? And I said, Mama, you got Teddy Bridgewater, and we're going to do this, we're going to do that. And lo and behold, I was so peed off that we lost by 2 points because I knew for sure that my phone was going to ring crazily, you know. And she called, and she called all her church members, and they called, and it was crazy. It was crazy. It was crazy. But she respected me because she did this right here, Cowboy Nation. She said she posted a little deal on Facebook talking about my condolences out to the Cowboys and all these things. So she took the high road, you know. But the Lord knows that if my Cowboys would have won, baby, I don't think I would have took the high road against my mom, believe it or not. But it's just how it goes, though. It's just how it goes. Y'all know how that go. Big Ben Roethlisberger went into the great situation with the Steelers his first years. Yeah. Big Ben, you know, he ran off with the plug 2 times, right? Yes, indeed, man. Shout out to Big Ben. Shout out to him. Old Newton went off today about getting the ball any way possible to Ezekiel. Love his spirit. Gamer boy. So I'm going to check that episode out. And if you have a timestamp on that episode, let me know so I don't have to watch the entire video of hanging with the boys. Let me know of what time frame he went off so I can really, really dive deep into it. Woods is playing. Shout out to you, Scott Cook. So we're going to see what type of Woods we're going to get, right? We're going to see what type of Woods we're going to get because he was talking mad cash money. Mad cash money about the 49ers, although we're not playing the 49ers this weekend. But I'm thinking that he's going to show us something. And then on top of that, if you think about it, if this team don't get gashed by running, then we'll look back at it and say, man, Antoine Barbecue Woods, maybe he is the plug, you know. And, of course, we're going to go back to the L.A. Rams tape, and we'll say, well, wait a minute. He couldn't stop them from running all over him. He was injured against that Ram tape. He was playing injured. Vikings coach Mike Zimmer used to coordinate for the Cowboys. So despite that being years ago, he always going to play us hard. This is Dallas made 19. Yeah, Zim always play us hard. Zim always play us hard. And remember, Zim was the guy that wanted to operate his particular style of defense. And Bill Parcells was like, no, we're going to operate my style of defense. And they clash and they bump heads. But Zim, if you look at Zim's defense from the time that he went to Cincinnati all the way time from when he got promoted and got the job at Minnesota, they always been in the top 5 or the top 10 defense. So Zim know what he's doing. He know how to turn these players into playmakers. He know how to get interceptions, turnovers, and takeaways. Zim was a hard guy for us to let go during that time frame. I love Zim coaching ability as it relates to defense. Everybody know that I love defensive-minded players or coaches. Yeah, I do. Aaron Rodgers is Cali Cowboy 805. Aaron Rodgers went into a great situation, too. Yeah, he did. He was able to sit behind Brett Favre. Yeah. Dallas Cowboys for life. Yes, indeed. Antoine Barbecue Woods. Yeah. Hot boys. Boy, the human log, or however they going to call them. They give them all these nicknames right now. Weinstein and Mauler, yeah. Viral. All right, the phone number 682-214-4087. I know it's late, but I know that you guys can still dial that number and let me know what's on your mind. Drew Brees also went into a good situation when he got traded to the Saints his first years, and then nobody talk about that. This is Cali Cowboy 805. Yeah, you 1,000,000% right because they were casting him off to Alcatraz out there in San Diego land. It was crazy because his last year he was playing good. I think on the final play, he snapped up all of his shoulder, what have you, and he had a choice to rehabilitate that shoulder, and he had a choice between Miami Dolphins and the Saints, and I think he took less money to go play with the Saints opposed to the Miami Dolphins, and that was a great situation for him. I think at the time, the coach for Miami Dolphins was the Nick Saban coach. He selected the young phenom, Sean Payton, over Nick Saban. And I would say that the way Sean Payton coached man, the way he coaches his quarterbacks is second to none. So that was a good deal for Drew Brees to ultimately pick up to play under Sean Payton's system, because they didn't ask for Sean Payton. Sean Payton didn't ask for Drew Brees to do a lot. James Banks, really appreciate you. Thank you for tuning in. He said hashtag Cowboy Nation. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Who else we have here? That goes to the Cowboys, and everyone wants to hate. I just have this feeling about Dak Prescott. A lot of people, and this is just my thoughts. It's nothing to do with his race. It's nothing to do with what school he went to. It's nothing to do with the aspect of the way he throws the ball and these sorts of things. I'm feeling that the people, by the time they saw Dak Prescott, they was worn out. This is just my notion of it. They was worn out from the Cowboys fans saying, hey, Tony Romo is going to do this. Just surround the weapons around Tony Romo. He's going to be that golden child for us. Just give him an opportunity. And people got burned out. So their expectations of Dak Prescott were similar. They're sitting there looking at it like, man, we are finally heading in the right direction with this quarterback. Maybe he can do exactly what Russell Wilson was able to do. Maybe he can do exactly what Tom Brady was able to do. But remember, Tony Romo was the Tom Brady of that time frame, because people was expecting this guy that's undrafted, this guy that was set back, and he learned the offense. He was going to be our miracle child. But it never happened. So what I believe with the Tony Romo situation were that a lot of fans got annoyed by it. You know, a lot of fans had a lot of high hopes and expectations, and the bobble snap happened. In the Seattle game, you say, and then the following year, we saw this spark, and then the Patrick Creighton drop pass. What I remind a lot of people that Patrick Creighton dropped that pass in the third quarter. We had a full quarter to make that pass back up, but it's a story of a different day. And then after 2007, 2008 rolled around, we started off just like we did it this year. I think we were 3-0 in 2008 or something like that. And then the pinky finger broke, you know. Then this start happened. And then when we start hearing that's when the emergence of I want to say First Pizza or First Take or what have you, Cold Pizza. That's when the emergence of the think about this, the time, because it wasn't really a popular show that goes back and forth and have the false narrative. And that's when you had the Stephen A. Smith was birthed and the Skip Bayless were birthed. And these people talk on the airwaves, and they have millions and millions and millions of followers and people viewing into their show. Just hear me out, Cowboy Nation. And what happened, yeah, Vero, 11 picks his rookie year, you're talking about my guy Everson. Yeah, but what happened here was that show painted the narrative, and it actually boosted Skip Bayless, and it boosted the Stephen A. Smiths of the world, and back and forth the banter, and then the back and forth the Cowboys, the accident waiting to happen, that birthed that statement, and then millions of people are copycat type of people. That opinion stretched out all over the nation. The Cowboys can't win in the big games. And then they proved that narrative, and Tony Romo can't stay healthy. They proved that narrative, and Skip Bayless going back and forth with Stephen A. Smith. And then that birth, this conversation before 2000, I'll say before, this word wasn't even given to the Cowboys in 2008, 2007, 2006. The delusional. And that's when everybody started echoing what Stephen A. Smith says. And think about it. Half of the people that talk bad about the Dallas Cowboys, is verbatim of what Stephen A. Smith says. Half of what Shannon Sharp says out there on his show is verbatim what Stephen A. Smith been saying. Let me know if I'm wrong, Cowboy Nation. Because it was unpopular Real talk. Let me just be real with you all. We've been going for an hour and 35 minutes, no commercial breaks, baby. Let me be real with you all. It was unpopular for talk radios and debate shows to laugh and make fun of people who got injured out there on the playing field, on the battlefield. Let me know. When was that ever a popular thing? Jim Rome that's burning, whatever, he didn't talk negative about people laying out there on the ground. But Stephen A. Smith, he was the guy that he just like this Joker almost. He just laughed and made the Cowboys, humiliated the Cowboys by laughing at Tony Romo. And he said, "Oh, Tony Romo." And then that echoed throughout the airwaves of all of these talk radios, and people mimic that. And that's when you start seeing people from TV personnel change from fact talking to opinionated talking. And it just became a fad. Now everybody started laughing at a player that's laid out there like Family Guy. And to this day, he still laughs at people who have problems with marijuana. He say, "Can't stay off the weed." You see what I'm saying? But not knowing that the Randy Gregorys of the world dealing with bipolar, using that medication to self-medicate to help them out and preserve or pursue their life as it relates to mental challenges. You see? So that's the problem with when you start hearing from other fan bases about the Dallas Cowboys. Let me know if I'm wrong, Cowboy Nation. McNabb is a creep. Dak is a class act. Yes, indeed. Yes. Dak has poise under pressure. Yes, can't learn from that. Yes, Jay. You speaking the truth. Tony Romo broke my heart many of times. Yes, Jake the Great. But if you look at you right on page, you know what I'm saying? He was saying, hey, the Cowboys would get you right there and they would leave you. You see what I'm saying? They would leave you hanging and dry. So that all of that stuff came from Stephen A. Smith, believe it or not. Did the word delusion, the Cowboys are delusional. And then also the phony ploy of saying that I can't stand the Cowboys fans, you see. I love the players, but I can't stand the fans. But when you go back and watch all of the tapes of what Stephen A. Smith started off with, he was talking about the players. It's just that then the ESPNs and all of these networks, they said, man, you can't be talking about these players. We're trying to bring them on board. We're trying to get them a one-on-one conversation. Yes, indeed. Let me see if I can find my phone. Where my phone at? Here we go. 520. Talk to me. I know you.
See, now you done got me started. Now you done got me started now. I'm sitting here listening about it, all this with Stephen A. and Bayless and Skip. I can't stand that. I can't stand that. It's the narrative. See that? See, you hit the nail right on the head. It's the narrative. You see First Take doing it. And it all stems from that mess. And it's always the same, as they say about Trump, the same talking points. It's always the same talking points. So they ain't going to have no faith. You already know they ain't going to have no faith. And Stephen A., he ain't going to have no faith. But he can damn sure go to anything Jerry Jones is putting out and be in there schmoozing.
Yeah.
And Marcus Spears called him out on it.
He did? Oh, man, you got to find that to me, man.
Marcus Spears called him out. Called him out on one. I'll find it. I'll get it to you.
Yeah.
Marcus Spears called him out. He said, I'm sick of you talking about my Cowboy. Ever since this show's been on, you've been talking about my Cowboy. See, when Marcus Spears is in the studio, you don't see Stephen A. But he'll talk that yang from a distance. And then he will puff his chest up when they're on the show. But it's always that same narrative. It's that narrative that makes me sick. It don't matter if it's Witless and Wiley. It don't matter if it's first, Witless and Wiley.
But all this came from Uncle Dave. All this came from his cold pizza. Remember that episode when it very first started? Because the broadcasters really never talk down upon players, you see. And then on top of that, when I use this saying right here, what can go wrong will go wrong. It's kind of like the sun will shine. It's like there's only one Super Bowl that's going to be won every year. You see what I'm saying? So, of course, I can say that, hey, 31 other teams, whatever can go wrong will go wrong. They will let you down. I can use the same talking points, you see. outside of the Patriots, of course, you're gonna be
exactly. And you mean it didn't hear all that loud noise. Didn't hear all that loud noise when Atlanta goes to Super Bowl and they're balling out on the Patriots, and then all of a sudden here comes the second half and they come storming back. You expect that, but then it's all but you don't hear that narrative. You don't hear that crap coming out of his mouth about Ryan this and Julio that. They didn't do this, and what will go wrong can't go wrong, will go wrong. You got to hear that narrative. And I just tune in just so I can hear him yakking off.
Yeah,
and,
it's
and I put a call into his show.
You did?
Yep, I put a call in on his show. I put a call in on the show, and I didn't get through. I was on hold the whole daggum time because there's other people in there, and I just wanted to lay it in the Stephen A. And I definitely want to get on him about last year with the Saints game when he come in there with a cowboy hat. But it's like, he's always going to talk that. He's going to talk that yang. He's going to talk that yang. And then when they lost, when they lost, Stephen, oh, you got to come in with his prop.
Hat.
And when they
won,
old
boy got to come in with the Hennessy. Yeah, old boy got to come with the Hennessy and the Miles and the Jack. It scoop.
Exactly. He got it. The hypocrites. You had your Shannon Sharp. You had your time in the sun. Leave it alone. He goes, judge not lest ye be judged. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He didn't have no good. He didn't have no good games. So he can't talk that talk. And there ain't no team that he could make. He could be probably a Pop Warner team. He could probably get on maybe. If they let him on. But I don't think they're letting the old dudes get on them. Get on them those kind of games.
Nah.
But even with that Saints game last year, and he come out there with all that and then the other Stephen Smith. The other Steve Smith, he wasn't happy either. He wasn't happy because he's always got something to say about the Cowboys. You mad because they didn't draft you? Is that what it is?
Are you talking about the little short one, right? The Steve Smith?
He's the mini-me. He's the mini-me Smith. He might be, his last name might be Senior, but he's still mini-me. And he was sitting out there with his jaws. He didn't have nothing to say.
But my guy, Michael Irvin. Sometimes I just be wanting my Cowboys to win just for him. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
Because Michael Irvin, he always, Michael Irvin always defending the star. And I love every bit of Michael Irvin for doing that, man.
He's always going to do it. Wiley don't do that.
Oh man, he waffles. He waffles back and forth. Yeah.
He goes back and forth. He's like a pancake. You just flip him over. You just flip flopping. He's like a fish out of water. Just flip flopping. And and I don't know if Whitlock even played. There it is. And then of course I've seen Cruz Manzada on the show. He's got good things to say. Dak's cousin, I think he just sell out. That's all that is.
You talking about the other guy that looks just like Dak, Sean
Merriman? Just like it.
Yeah.
The wannabe. But what's up? Talk to one of these guys. All right.
Yes, indeed, man.
But always, it's always that narrative and flip flop, flip flop, flip flop, flip flop, flip flop. So y'all worse than a fish out of water. And I'm like, haters gonna hate. This is true. I just had to say my piece. They all clowns. That's all it is. They paid to talk that way. Yeah. Deep down in their heart, you deep down, when they start saying nice things, deep down, okay, I might have been wrong. I might have been wrong.
Yes, indeed.
And Cowboys might win out the rest of the season. They don't know.
They don't know.
It's always the narrative. It's always the narrative. Yeah. But that one fool started it. Stephen A. picks it up. Shannon Sharp picks it up. Skip Bayless, he just makes me mad. He's a bandwagon fan. He's bandwagon. Don't give me this. Oh, my Cowboys. No, you bandwagon fan. That's what you are. You jump on the wagon when everything's good, and you jump off when it's bad. Just like an alcoholic, man. Just like an alcoholic. Well, I'm a straighten up and fly right. I ain't drink no more.
But the best
and all
episode,
of a sudden, something goes bad.
Uncle Dave, the best episode ever was when Richard Sherman called out Skip Bayless, and it was like, if you ever get a chance to watch it, just go to YouTube and type in Richard Sherman versus Skip Bayless. I'm talking about this will be the funnest joys of your life, but it's just reality. Both of those guys make millions of dollars, though.
He put the fool on blast. You put him on blast. You put him on blast. You put him on blast. Ain't got nothing to say. You put him on blast. Blast.
Uncle Dave, they want to know your thoughts on Chris Carter too now. Shout out to you, 2010.
Oh, Chris Carter.
Yeah.
Then don't get me started on him. Don't get me started on Chris Carter, because if he was good, he'd stay with the Vikings. They wouldn't have kicked him to the curb to I think Miami was it. That's where he went in Miami. Yeah. So he had his day in the sun too, and. I don't know who. I mean, it must be in his dreams or something. I don't know. Mm-hmm. And Nick Wright, he just is stick to what he knows, which is nothing. He should just stick to what he knows, which is nothing. And Kellerman, he just needs to just worry about boxing. That's what he needs to worry about. He don't know nothing. He's going to talk that talk, and he's going to side with Stephen A. And sometimes they'll have their little disputes. But you don't have know what the hell he's talking about anyway.
I got one more guy. I forgot his name, but he said, "Ain't no way, ain't no how." I forgot his name. Y'all put his name down for me. I think it's Robert or Rob or something like that. No way, no how. He got suspended.
Don't talk about that Ryan Scott. Don't talk about Ryan Scott.
No, not him. He called somebody a cornball brother, and he got kicked off of ESPN. I think he called. I forgot his name. Rob Parker. That's what they said. Rob Parker.
Yeah, that's another one. Rob Parker. He got kicked off of ESPN, but you see he's on. He's on Undisputed all the time.
Fox,
he's popping off a bunch of mess about nothing. He don't know what the hell he's talking about. Half the time I can't even understand the much mouthful. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, indeed, boy. We got some haters, man. We can point them out, baby. Yes, indeed.
Don't make me show up in the studio and say, you are hating.
But I think that the person that
be like the Grinch, just looking in the phone book like hate.
I think the person that hate the most was Molly, though. And
Molly, I can't stand that woman.
Ooh.
I cannot stand that. I can't stand that woman. And that long-headed Jenny. I can't stand that woman.
You like Jenny?
I cannot.
Not Jenny cool. Jenny's cool.
I cannot stand that. I cannot stand that long-headed female, dude. I'm telling you, dude. I'm telling you, man. Woman, shut up. Woman, shut up. You the moderator. You should just come in.
Let me tell you the woman that I couldn't stand, and she got kicked off of ESPN, or she found another job. What's her name? It's a sister.
I know exactly who you're talking about.
Man, my goodness, her points was I like the dude. The dude was pretty cool with it. But her points was really like what's her name? Y'all help me out. Y'all put her name in the chat box, man.
It had no basis. Long head. She had
a round head, man. I forgot her.
She had a round head. Yeah. Pumpkin head. I can't remember what her name is.
Jamil Hill, man. Shout out to her, though. Shout out to her because you retweeted something I tweeted a long time ago. But Jamil Hill, man, I used to be like, when the Ezekiel Elliott situation was going through, I was like, come on, Jamil. Come on. Oh, my goodness.
Give me a break, I'm like, it's just this. Them certain ones that just get on your nerves, but Molly gets on my nerves the most.
But Molly gets the award, Yeah.
Bad. She gets the big head award because she.
And she was crying.
I'm about to start cussing, bro.
She was crying. Ezekiel Elliott. And I said, wait a minute. She was crying on live TV. She talking about Ezekiel Elliott. And I said, when the Brown situation came about, because she's a Giants fan, I said she didn't shed a tear. She was like, well, I'm sitting like in all these other situations. I said, come on, Molly, come on.
Yeah, sure. You're supposed to be a fan, but you won't talk about your Giants. You won't talk about the Giants. Oh, what the Diamond Daniel. Let's see. Well, the Patriots showed what kind of diamond he is.
Yeah.
Diamond in the rough,
Yeah.
a diamond in the pilot. To coin the whole Emmitt Smith phrase. But he didn't have a hope and prayer of beating the Patriots anyway. So it's just the Giants is rebuilding. The Redskins definitely rebuilding, and Gruden should have been gone years ago.
Yeah, the Gruden grind.
I mean, and they blundered into the playoffs in 15. They blundered into playoffs, and then they got put out real quick. But just because and it's like in name only. They were talking about that in name only. I think that's the only reason he got that Redskins job. Well, Gruden. Well, just because Papa Shanahan is the man and Junior Shanahan is doing stuff, but then he goes from team to team. Hey, just because the name don't mean nothing. The name don't mean nothing. The name don't mean nothing.
But here's the thing is too,
you have to go back to the Phillips part. There's Bum Phillips,
Bum
and then
Phillips, Wade Phillips, and all the Ryans,
and
all the
Ryan
brothers,
yeah.
But here's the thing, though. I think that it was a blessing in disguise for us because that McVay, I'm glad that he's not the head coach for the Redskins. I'm glad they let him go. I think that his system is going to eventually catch up with him, but he's an innovator. He thinks outside the box. So I'm glad that he went off to the Rams or what have you, opposed to still coaching the Redskins.
Yeah, that's what you got to do. Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention Cowher. I can't stand that fool either. that cowboy. He's that. Dude, shut up. Shut the hell up. Go back to radio.
Let me put you in a box right quick.
All right.
You stuck in a room with Colin Cowherd and Chris Collinsworth. Which one? How fast would you get out of that room?
Man, as long as they ain't a rope in there, because I string them both up. Because Collinsworth, I can't stand him either.
Oh my
if he was in the state, he'd have been making his catches in the Super Bowl against the Niners. He'd been making his catches. So I try to tune him. Sunday Night Football, I try to tune him out. But it's kind of hard because it's annoying. Long head. He's another long head. He's another long head. And then I see how the favoritism that he plays with certain teams. Even if it's a team he likes and they're getting beat down, he's got to say something that
you just gave me an idea, Uncle Dave. You gave me an idea. I'm gonna have to do
I can't be doing that, dude. I hope it's a good idea.
No, it's a good idea. I'm talking about like rank them. Like I'm gonna probably put a poll out there, like broadcasters all together, and
rank them and spank them.
Yeah. Like,
rank them or shake them.
like you had a Joe Buck. You have a Joe Buck or versus a college like a Final Four or something like that. A Joe Buck versus Chris Collinsworth or things like that. Tariq, something like that. Versus such and such. So we're gonna think about this thing.
At least Joe Buck is lively.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
Collinsworth probably put me to sleep. He puts me to sleep. You put you to sleep.
Yes, indeed.
He will, and I can't see how Al Michael stands the dude. But hey, it is what it is, and he's getting paid to do a job, so he's the man going to do his job. I think he's the longest tenured on that program. So
Al Michael's the GOAT, though.
Al Michael, yeah. But he is dope. He is the man. And it's just, it was better with Madden. I could deal with Madden because Madden was fun, and he'll do his little boards, his little grease board, boom, boom, bam, bam. You see, that's what it was lively. Collinsworth is like, sound like an electric razor, man. I'm like, sound like an electric razor. It don't cut. It like with the bad blades, and I got to get a new one. I got to go from the Norelco to the Braun.
But I will say this, that Charles, I get some information from him. I forgot his last name, as well as I'd love like this game this weekend is going to be Tony Romo and Jim Nantz. I know for sure that when I listen to Tony Romo, I'm gonna get it from a fresh perspective, and I'm gonna learn
Exactly.
something from that day of how Cowboy Nation. Y'all hear me out, man.
Yeah.
You're gonna learn something when you listen to Tony Romo of what the blitz packages are and what to expect.
He calling the play before it's even set. Before they even line up, he's calling the play. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's the kind of. I mean, that's the kind of commentary that people need to pay attention to. So, he was trash when he was a quarterback. But if he's trash when he's a quarterback, why is they paying him millions of dollars? Why is CBS paying him millions of dollars?
Yeah.
Because it must have some kind of merit.
Yeah.
And and I just enjoy watching on Sunday on CBS because I know he's gonna be calling the game. It don't make it don't even have to be a Cowboys game. He calls some games, but even Cowboys games. Yeah. But he is so precise, and he's right on the money, and he's telling them exactly what's happening, and he's telling them exactly what the quarterback is seeing. So maybe Jason Garrett needs to be listening to CBS and listening to Tony Romo, because Romo probably could have been telling him something else. And then most of the time, I think Romo had free reign to do his thing.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed, he did.
And I think Garrett was kind of happy when he got hurt, which I hate to say that, but I think he had more. He had more. What you call it? Leeway, or
right.
He got latitude. That's the word. He had more latitude to be creative and stuff like that. There might be plays that Garrett will call a play, and he'll get back there, and they'll get online, and they'll make the play, and it might be short yardage, but then Romo will see something from the previous defensive setup, and then he'll call something audible, and then you just see. I mean, if they put the camera on Garrett, you'll see him roll his eyes. Why? Because Romo said, you know what, I seen something else. This is what it is. And then all of a sudden, boom, it's 20, 25 yards down the field. And it's like, well, how come he didn't call that before? I said, because he's getting some latitude. And when Jerry gets out there on that field, he stays on one side and Garrett stays on the other. You see what you see what I'm talking about. He stays on one side and Jerry's on the other. But, when they're winning, Jerry ain't coming down there. But if it starts getting to where, hey, it's starting to get bad, he's going to get down there quick. He's going to get down there quick, and I'm quite sure at halftime he come down there and it said something, because Garrett, had no emotion whatsoever. But when I finally seen him pull that flag on that one play and throw it down at the ref, and then the ref, okay, he's mad because he had a red flag thrown from him. He's going to throw a flag. I'm like, there was no call for that. Yeah. He's trying to point something out, and that's what I'm talking about, this officiating. I think these guys just, I don't know what they do during the off season, but I know they were looking at these rules, and I know these rules are put in place for them to follow them, and even this new pass interference rule being to throw a flag at, that's a bunch of BS.
Yeah,
because
it's crazy.
You've seen the two plays on Cooper, offensive pass interference. You get a little bit physical, the receiver get a little bit physical, here comes a flag.
Right.
But you can see the one receiver was a Thomas. Thomas will get physical. You don't see no flag, but you'll see some defensive holding or face guarding. There ain't no such freaking thing in the NFL.
Yeah.
So why you calling face guard and throwing a flag? That's college. If you're a college referee, you need to look at the college rule book, and you need to look at the NFL rule book, and it ain't the same. There's no such thing as face guard. They call that crap. If Pop Warner and all his other in high school and college, they ain't gonna call that. They did that to there was a player, I think it was last year, when they played Seattle. I can't remember who it was, but they called him for face guard, but then they picked up that flag because there's no such freaking thing as face guarding in the NFL.
Yeah,
no such thing.
And I look for the NFL to never pick up a flag against the Dallas Cowboys. It's just the reality of it.
It's raining flags. It's yellow flag city when it's the Cowboys. But then some of them, most calls shouldn't get called, and most of them do. Let them get out there and play. Let the players get out there and play. And some little minor stuff, and then you're going to throw a flag on it. That means you're not sure, and then you got to sit here for 20 minutes debating whether, was that legal or was that illegal? Should we throw a flag? So then Garrett's getting frustrated. If you see a little bit more emphasis, a little bit more enthusiasm out of him in the game, instead of being the Princeton clapper, the Princeton clapper, that's what they call it now. Instead of being the Princeton clapper out there clapping it up, he need to be digging in somebody. You know what?
Yeah.
You can make that play, and you did make mention of that sideline play by Cooper and that spin. I was like, that's the sweetest. That's the sweetest play I've ever seen from him. That man is a nuanced runner. He knows the routes. Gallup knows them routes. He's a professional football player. He's an NFL player. He knows them routes. He knows them routes. Last year, Dak could throw him a bomb. He missed about 3 yards. This year, he dropping it on the dime.
Yeah, they're in the proximity.
That playbook. Yeah. He's in the proximity, and he makes sure he's in there. And he's not catching the ball fingertips and freaking bumbling to try to hold on to it. It's on the dime.
Yes, indeed.
It's on the dime.
Yes,
so,
indeed.
That's all
stuff.
it is. But I'm gonna get off this phone again because I got jokers looking and talking about, hey, boss, he ain't working. He ain't working. He ain't working.
Tell him you working, man. That's the side.
Yeah, I am working.
Man.
I am working. I'm doing my commentary. I'm doing my Cowboys commentary. Y'all need to get over it.
Yeah.
It's gonna be all right. Don't worry about a thing.
Yeah.
Every little thing.
Gonna be all right. Yeah, boy. Yeah, album coming out, baby. Y'all watch out.
I ain't too good at singing. I'm gonna give that mess up. But I got to put that little spiel in, put the little twang on it. But it is what it is. But I'm looking forward to this. I'm looking for this game. And I'll reiterate. I bet not see you Thanksgiving.
Oh, you won't.
I bet not see me. I'll be checking YouTube to see if you're doing a little bit of commentary and some game time stuff. Yeah, but nah. But I better not see you there. I best not see you there.
You won't see me there.
And if there was 20 guys there looking just like you, and I recognize you, I'm gonna call you out.
Call me out, baby. Call me out.
I'm gonna call you out. But I will drop that TXT to you when I do get in the area down there. But like I said, I'm gonna be there with my fam. So hey. It's the first time I can get everybody together and say, hey, I got these 8 tickets to this game. I'll fly everybody there.
Yes, indeed.
What's the big whoop? We'll go to Cracker Barrel or something. No, we ain't gonna do that. I got Kent Boken in Houston, Dallas, Brian. So hey, I'll hit one of them. We'll drop in on somebody. Where the food at?
Where the food at? We got
Where the food at? I want my turkey leg. Where grandma at? And ain't Shirley and ain't Flo and ain't JoJo. Yeah, they're gonna bring they spaghetti.
Yeah.
And gotta eat it. If they all got potato salad, and one potato salad is better than the rest. You just put potato salad, just go over there and scoop it. Just throw it on the plate and eat it. This is the best potato salad. This is the best potato salad I ever ate in my entire life. You're lying.
Yes,
but you got to make everybody happy.
Yes,
indeed.
indeed.
You can please some of the people some of the time, and some of the people all the time, but you can't please all the people all the time.
All the time. You right, Uncle Dave. You right. You right. Y'all listen. Yes, indeed. Shout out to you, Cali Cowboy, man. He said he about to roll on out of here. Shout out to you, man.
Yeah. All right, man.
All right, Uncle Dave, man. I see you around. I'm still live, like 95. All right, brother.
Right. All right, later.
Peace. Good call from Uncle Dave. Man, good call from. He made this time go by so fast, Cowboy Nation. It's 2 o'clock. It is actually 2 o'clock. And the phone lines are still open. And let me see if I can read some of you all comments there. He says, peace out, Cowboy. Cali Cowboy 805 says, peace out, Law. Keep doing what you're doing. Peace. Out to the entire Cowboy Nation. Shout out to you all. Y2 Fly. How Cowboy Nation is doing. We doing fine. Dallas May says refs are trash. 2 years ago they didn't. Yeah. 15 game quarters without holding flag. That was crazy 2 years ago. We went through all of those quarters without a holding flag. Shout out to you, Islam 210 Hood. Yeah, shout out to you, Hood, in my hood. Daniel Jones, better than Dak Prescott. This is from Connor Jones. That's your cousin. Connor Jones, Daniel Jones, your cousin. And I'm glad you mentioned Daniel Jones. And somebody was talking about the Troy Aikman commentary and Joe Buck. I think that Troy Aikman and Joe Buck, they don't do the analysis that we really want. It's so opinionated, whereas sometimes it don't even have enough facts to stand. Now, trust me, Troy Aikman, one of the greatest Cowboys quarterback of all time. But the problem is that a lot of Cowboy nations are, and a lot of people beyond, it's like, where's the analysis at, Troy? You get paid millions of dollars. Give us your analysis. Don't give me your emotions. And then on top of that, if when you really look at it, Cowboy Nation, oh man, appreciate you, Stellos, 300 for making a donation to help grow the nation, man. Yeah, really appreciate it, man. Every penny count. You stack those on top of each other, and every penny count. But here's the thing. Troy Aikman, last night when I saw the game, he was saying that your boy Connor Jones, Daniel Jones, it could have been Joe Buck, either of the two. He said, man, that was the accurate pass. The one that Golden Tate scored a touchdown on. I want you all to look back at that play and look at the analysis and look at how he said the ball was thrown right on the money, when anybody and everybody knows that the ball don't supposed to go to the inside shoulder. On that play, the ball belongs on the outside shoulder opposed to the inside. But he said, oh man, Daniel Jones was a good passer on that play, accurate ball and these sorts of things. If the DB would have played through and trust what he was able to see, that would have been a pick. And then on top of that, I saw a pass that Daniel Jones, who supposedly passed accurate, better than Dak Prescott, passed the ball right to the receiver. I'm sitting there like, to the DB, right to the DB. And I'm sitting there like, wow. 3 interceptions I think he threw. 3 of them. It was crazy. And I said, man, if Dak Prescott get this longitude and latitude, it would have been crazy. Oh, and is Daniel Jones a first-round draft pick? And he making passes like that? Come on now. Yeah, I think that last night, if Eli would have played against the Patriots, I think that Eli would have had a better chance of winning that game. The Patriots snuck off with one. They did. And now, trust me, I know I'm going to get a lot of Patriots fans that's going to be like, nah, Law, you tripping, man, or Patriots apologists. But the Patriots defense bailed them out once again. Once again, they did, And I know it's a total team game opposed to an individual. But the Giants played the Patriots pretty good. Giants defense is better than the Cowboys defense. Skeptical fan. In what parameters, you see? I like the interior. I like that kid, that fat kid that was inside that was stonewalling the running back, forces them to get out of that running situation. But I would still take my DBs over the Giants DBs any day. And I do know that they got the Jackrabbit and those boys. And I do know that I would still take, even though if you look at it for face value, I would still take my safeties over theirs. I would still take all of my linebackers over the Giants linebackers. The only thing that I can say the Giants got good at is the one tech. They got a guy that can play the one. But outside of that, I don't think that they are better. No way, skeptical fan. But I really appreciate your opinion and your thoughts and you putting it out there. Let me see who else we have here. I'll take Dak durability over Wentz any day. Yes. I mean, let's say, for example, you got a Ferrari. I'm going to use this analogy. You got a Ferrari, or you got a Ferrari that's sitting outside that when you try to crank and turn it on, it don't crank and turn on. You got to take forever to warm start it up and these sorts of things. Or you got a dependable, souped up Mustang or a Charger, and every time you get in the car, you crank it up, it goes. You're going to be like, man, I'm going to jump in this Charger, man. I ain't going to be messing with this Ferrari. Oh, to get the part fixed is $30 million, $34 million? Nah, man, I'm just good with this little Charger I got. It can get the job done. Or I get this Mustang. It's a souped up Mustang. I get this job done. It's not a sports luxury car, but it's a car that gets you to A to B, point A to point B. Yeah, Wentz wearing a ring with a wheelchair spinner on it. Now, come on, why too fly, man? That's funny. We're gonna smash the Pats the way they looked. Only way we can smash them if we can stop their running approach. That's the only way. If we can beef up and stop their running approach, you say. But I'm not talking Packs because it's too far down the line right now. Well, my focus is on the Jets right now. Jets, Jets. They still spinning. Why too fly so funny? He said they spinning. Dak Prescott is a Honda Accord for quarterbacks. I mean, a Honda can get you some good miles, man. There's nothing wrong with a Honda. If Dak Prescott is the Honda Accord, then Tom Brady is the Acura. You see what I'm saying? He's just a little grade higher right now. You see. It's all about getting to point A to point B. Those luxury cars, a lot of people want them until it's time to change the oil every time. Or you might have a car with an oil pan leak, and every time you gotta park your car around the back. You gotta put a sheet pan under the car. You see what I'm saying? Because it's leaking oil all over the field. You want your car that don't do all that leaking, and you gotta baby it. You can't really push the metal to it. You can't put the pedal to the metal. So I love car analogies. Because it's something I guess tangible that you guys can actually see and feel. Dak haters need to eat crow. Gordon, the sad reality of it is that the haters going to always say negative things about him until we host a Lombardi trophy. And that's just the reality of it, you see. Because even Russell Wilson still got his haters, and he got a trophy. You see what I'm saying? It's just the reality of it, you see. What's up, Law Nation? She says, should we trade for any run stoppers from the Dolphins? I even heard the Broncos were willing to trade. Playmaker 74. Well, I said on a stream before that in order, and this shout out to all of the late night warriors who's with this marathon with me. I said before that this is something that you really wanted to happen during the off season. Like the McCoy was there. Even Hadamakin Sue was there. I know those boys are older, but it would have been nasty if we'd have had those guys to be on this particular team now, present day. One can argue and say, well, those are 3-techs, Law. These ain't really run plugs that you can put inside. But what I'm looking at this type of team, that Malik Collins, yeah, he's cool and all. But I'm thinking that the Dallas Cowboys are not all the way 100% sold on Malik Collins, just as well as they're not sold on some other players. I'm looking at it like the Tristan Hill is Malik Collins' replacement. So I don't think that the Dallas Cowboys are going to use any, and I'm going to say this again, any, let me see this, draft capital or players for players for a defensive tackle. I just don't see that. It throws up it's for one, admitting that they were wrong. It took them hell and high water to admit they were wrong by wide receiver by committee for picking up Amari Cooper last year. And that stuff was drastically bad for us. We went 3-5 before we made that attempt to say, okay, we're going to call Amari Cooper for crying out loud. I don't think, unless Le'Veon Bell run for 300 yards this Sunday, I just don't see the Dallas Cowboys saying, you know what, we're going to change our philosophy on the front four. And we're going to get that trash can full of dirt type of guy. I just don't see that as happening. I'm thinking that they looking at it like this. We're going to get Antoine Barbecue Woods back. He's going to stop and plug up the middle. We're going to rotate Christian Covington back into the inside. And then on top of that, we're going to have another rotational piece as it relates to Tyron Crawford. They're going to stabilize our front four so that everybody can hush about it. That's what I believe. Y2 Fly said respect to Laudo. Appreciate you, man. Thank you for the respect. We good. Welcome to the dark side, Eagle fan. Shout out to you, man. Much respect for Jake Gruden, poor guy. Castillo's, is it Castillo? I don't know, man. Jake Gruden did a crazy thing out there. Any news on Randy Gregory? No news on Randy Gregory. No news at all. No news at all. No news. Give me a big Saragusa type of middle linebacker. I can't talk today or tonight. Today is Saturday, baby. We made it to Saturday. It's 12:10. We are in overtime. Here's the thing, Cowboy Nation. Here's the thing. Hear me out. The phone lines are still open now. You guys want to give me a call, I'm here. Here's the thing. The trash can full of dirt guy. In order for that to happen, Rob Marinelli will have to go. And we got to look back at it. The reason why your guy, number 52, Ray Lewis, and I've got the other linebacker that was flying out to the ball, those lanes were way open. He didn't have to worry about the contact. Google Ray Lewis' size. He was an undersized linebacker. He wasn't this big guy. Of course, he hit you and you'll feel it. But Ray Lewis had the Sam Madisons of the world, the big Tony Saragusas of the world. And then even with that, they went and got a Haloti. He sound like he's a big guy. Haloti Nadi. You know what I'm saying? So, and if you can think about it, look at the Detroit Lions. Don't sleep on them. They doing the same type of philosophy. And think about this. Look at the Saints. Their front four, they got those big boys inside. And that's why you see a guy that is like Demario Davis just flying out to the ball. He was out there on the market this year, right? Until the Saints scooped him up. Good linebackers don't go in the market like that and then just start performing on other teams. But you can see with your natural eyes how beneficial those big boys inside can do for your linebackers. Now, I do know that LVE, he's battling some injuries. Was it Vira-Lago that he got? But Jalen Smith, I mean, he's not having a horrible trash year, but compared to what he did last year, of course. But I'm thinking that, let me see, we got the phone lines. Live like 95. Let me see the phone line right here. 512, talk to me.
What's good, Law Nation? This Fresh Coast Speaks, man, from Austin, Texas.
Oh, man, shout out to you, man. How you living?
Man, living great. You know how it is.
Oh,
hey,
yeah.
Man, so, yeah, man, I just want to, I've been on. I heard dude, he was on there for about 30 minutes. And I was like, hey, man, let me give a little call in. Hey, so I just got a couple quick points, man. Zeke Elliott. See, I wanted to trade him, but not like in a vicious way. I wanted to trade him just to accrue more assets. And I just felt like we had kind of gotten our use out of him, and maybe another team could have used him better than we could. And we could have got, more weapons, and we could have spread out that money. But, I mean, now that we got him, I feel like, Nate Newton said earlier, we got to use him in different ways. You know what I mean? What you think about that?
I still got to go back and listen to what Nate Newton said in that capacity of how he said he spoke very passionately about it. My thing is with Ezekiel Elliott, players like that you see from 2016, 17, 18, running backs are just like cars. I love to use car analogies, right? They depreciate. Yeah. It's depreciations of asset. It's only a few players like the Frank Gores of the world, the Adrian Peterson, and you look at the burst that those two players got. It's not similar to what Ezekiel Elliott got. Ezekiel Elliott burst is not there. I gotta see something. But my thing is, I can't fold up my tent. I can't give up on Ezekiel Elliott right now, you see. Because I got to put in my mind that he didn't practice none this offseason. But go ahead, my bad.
True. No, true. No. That was my bad. But to that, just like you said, to follow your car analogy, say with a car, you could put rather normal unleaded, or you can put that unleaded plus in there. You can get your car. You may think it's the same gas, but when you start pushing your car up and up and up, it's a different type of gas that's burning. I mean, you know that, I know that. So it's like I mean, maybe we could be using our utilities in a better way that's going, better maximize the offensive overall production. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Make Dak look better at the same time as he's looking better with more screens. I don't really know myself, but I just feel like it's different type of ways. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's multiple ways to skin a cat, right? Basically, you're saying
Absolutely.
that we went from cars to cat, but I feel what you're saying, that the Cowboys need to find ways to utilize Ezekiel Elliott better. Let me let the Viral Killer, he just made a donation. Let me let the
round midnight. Yeah, baby.
Yes.
UDA men law.
Veer, appreciate you for making a donation to help grow the nation.
Shout out.
Yes, indeed.
Shout out.
My thing is with this Ezekiel Elliott and the Dallas Cowboys offense and how they can utilize Ezekiel Elliott is this right here. They went and drafted a Tony Pollard, meaning that all of the weight and the strain that you're supposed to have. Shout out to Stellos for making the donation to help grow the nation, man. I really appreciate you. He says,
Shout out,
2 penny
Stellos.
Jenny. Yes, but here's the thing. You got Tony Pollard that's supposed to be able to help expand Ezekiel Elliott's career. I look at Tony Pollard as that Swiss Army knife that can catch the ball out of the backfield, that can run in between the splits or tackles or what have you, and still utilize Ezekiel Elliott. But you got to have Tony Pollard to do Tony Pollard things and not Tony Pollard to do Ezekiel Elliott things. That's how I look at it.
Right. I hear that. And see, and that's really, Nate, dude, he was kind of breaking it down. He was passionate about that. He was like, why would you go over the offseason, pay this man $50 million to recover him, and then you're just not going to do nothing with him? Like, you're just going to let him die out when the offense die out. It's not going to happen like that. And I felt that. You feel me? I felt it. And my other thing, this is what I brought to Vach's attention.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about having the back end of your defense? You have a 6th-round draft pick in the X-Boys from La Tech, cool. And then you got, Jeff Heath, undrafted from, Saginaw Valley.
Mm-hmm.
I believe in him because we've grown with him. Like, we've had to deal with him. But how do you personally feel about having the back end of your defense when you could have traded for a Minka Fitzpatrick and moved him from cornerback to safety, as Pittsburgh has done? But everybody was like, no, he's a corner. He's a flexible player. You could have done that. And how do you feel about, as opposed to doing that, you're protecting, or you're leaving the backside, your safeties, to save your defense to a 6th-rounder and an undrafted safety? Just how do you feel?
Quality is quality. And what the flaws of Xavier Woods is, when you look at the tape with your natural eyes, when you look at Aaron Jones putting his fist and just stiff arming the hell out of Xavier Woods, that speaks volumes, because that's the exact same thing that Todd Gurley was able to do, C.J. Anderson was able to do.
Taysom Hill ran him over.
Taysom Hill, all of those boys. Now, Xavier Woods can land a boom now, but he can land them when you're not expecting them. You see, but when a player square up with Xavier Woods, I mean, come on now, he's no bigger than Jordan Lewis at this point. So
and that's my thing, and that's the only thing that scares me. It's just like when we get to prime time, I just don't want our safeties, the back end of our defense, to be our demise, bro. That's what's going to kill me, because like people were saying, oh, draft picks don't matter. Tom Brady Tom Brady has to go through a lot to get to where he has to have a whole system. You feel me? And this is a DB that they pick DBs like Jalen Ramsey 1st or 4th high overall because they have value. They're able to jump off their player and jump into another zone and get a pick. That's what they do. We don't have any playmakers. That's been my biggest concern. Law said it's not a problem. I mean, not Law, excuse me, your Law. Vosh said it's not a problem. I was like, I hear you, but the way I see it is, we got Jeff Heath. He got the ball hitting him in the side of the star on his helmet. We got X Woods. He tipping the ball up like it's hot. It's hot. You feel me? Like it's like we don't want the ball, And then you see the New York Giants. They're playing the defending champions, and they're turning the ball over and running it back for 6. You feel me? Like that's just the way I see it. They got Janoris Jenkins out there playing. Why can't we have ball hogs? I just feel like it's not too much to ask. That's just me. It's Fresco speak. I feel like I just spoke.
Oh man, you dropping some bombs, a firebomb out here, man, at the top of the hour,
I listen to you so often, man. This is a pleasure to me, man. I listen to you when you driving, to work and to and from. I'm like, man, what this man doing? You talking? I'm like, hey, but it's all news, You be at the camps, you be following the polls. So, hey, man, I have no problem listening to you, and I just want to call in, man. Get my 2 piece.
Oh man, there's some good 2 pieces, man. Where the biscuit at, man? Shoot, where the biscuit at?
Hey man, hey, I'll drop it off. If you want to talk about Brett Maher, if you want to talk about
talk to me, man.
Oh,
as my guy used to say, Nip, talk to me.
Oh God. Okay, let me talk to you then. Mm-hmm. Do you remember when he first came in and we let him go? We let Dan Bailey go to Minnesota. We was like, fuck it, we got Money Maher. Money Maher. We believe. What happened? Like, I don't know. Did he lose a girlfriend? Did he not have his breakfast taco the day of the game? Like what happened? Like, I mean, he's missing the money kicks. I'm not talking about like when he used to hit the 50 and the 59 and the almost 60, maybe 61. He was milking them. But then you bring him in and it's like, okay, this is the one that we turn our backs. Like, go ahead, make it. And we turn around to see the rest are waving their hands horizontally to where he misses it. Oh, goodness.
Man,
that's painful, man.
The thing is, once a kicker go bad, man, it's like you set that milk out and you put it on the counter and you forgot to put it in the refrigerator, and once it goes bad, the only thing you can do is hope you didn't pop the top and take it back to the store. Once kickers' confidence is shaken, you become the kicker for, was it Cody Parker for the Chicago Bears?
Parquet.
Because my thing is, if you can't make that kick in a Green Bay Packers game, think about this. You got 11 guys, well 22 altogether collectively, blood, sweat, and tears on the defense and offense, and you got this special team guy that all of you requiring him to do is nail a 32-yard kick. And can you imagine? Because I look at things different. This can be the NFC conference championship game.
Right.
And you got that kicker, and it's at the 32-yard line, and you done got all the way right here, and now it's time for that kicker to win the game for you. Or this could be crazy. This could be the Super Bowl. You see what I'm saying? Right. And he missed that kick.
Yeah.
You got to go back to the crevices and the resources of your thoughts and minds and heart and say, well, damn.
but that's the thing though, because just like you're saying that now, we should be thinking about that moment right now. Like, do we trust him in that moment?
Right.
And this is another thing I want to ask you, because you were out there at Oxnard. Trust me, I watched you. You was out there every day. So did you see them, like the kickers, the punters? Were they actually out there like paying attention? Or were they out there just jacking around? Because I played Division I football myself at Texas State a little bit. I played at Stony Point in high school. I'm not trying to brag on them. I've seen how the kickers and the punters, how they practice as opposed to how we practice, and it was 2 completely different practices. Like, they used to be out there just laughing, throwing the ball, playing and kicking and horsing, jacking around. We out there really playing, and they bullshit. You know what I mean? So like, did you see them really out there balling like that?
Well, the kickers were the first people running out there on the field, right? I mean, nobody cheered for them. Everybody like, okay, they got a job and a responsibility to do, right? And from that day forward, I knew that Michael Jackson was suspect, because Michael Jackson was getting the punt return responsibilities and kickoff return responsibility. He could never catch him, you see. But they were trying to find ways to put Michael Jackson out there on the field, and he was not able to catch the punt return or the kickoff return. So, and I started looking at this kicker. This kicker named Renford, I think. He gave Brett Maher a run for his money, and he gave it was another kicker. He gave Chris Jones a run for his money. But in both of those categories, Chris Jones, he don't punt pretty well. He's a great. He's a solid punter, but he's not like a punter that you're gonna be like, well, dang, he's gonna pin us deep. You see.
His punting has definitely stopped, because he used to be that type of punter. I don't know if you remember, like we used to have that type of, like, where he could probably punt from maybe 40, 42, 30, 35, and he's probably gonna cough and kick him. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that type of punter. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, but the kicking situation, Brett Maher was getting his butt handed to him out there in Oxnard. He was losing, but what happened was saved Brett was the preseason game. The kicker was missing. Whatever the kicker name, you guys can help me out what the kicker last name was. But what happened in preseason, that kicker just laid an egg, and they was like, well, we're going to go with what helped us out last year. Yeah, so that's what happened, man. And I guess, the people would say, well, if you relied on the kicker to win you the game, then, But I recall.
I mean, no,
but I recall like the Super Bowls that everybody is looking at, and everybody forgot about it. But
exactly.
But it was 3 Super Bowls that I remember that New England Patriots was able to win from the kicker's leg.
Adam
you know.
Vinatieri. Say it, go ahead. Say it, because you're right. Adam Vinatieri and then Gostkowski has been saving his ass because it's not about the end of the game. It's about like the little 3 points. Like Maher, he missed a point, extra 3 points that was during the game. Mm-hmm. It's those momentum. Like sometimes it's getting points and just seeing that like your whole drive ended up in something and it wasn't just nothing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Shout out to 2010. He says Redfern. Yeah. He had a leg on him. He was hitting all of the kicks in practice and training camp. It's just that when the preseason came around, it was like, whoa.
It probably with that whole precision factor. No, it's a difference between that outside and that that in game. But I feel you, man. Mm-hmm. But Lord, I just want to drop a couple of dimes in there, man. Just let you know how I felt, man. But hey, we good. We ain't losing no more than 4 or 5.
Appreciate you, man. Shout out for the biscuit too,
yes,
man.
Sir.
Yes.
All right now.
Salute, bro. That's 512 right there. 512, man. And hopefully, man, we can just figure out ways with this kicker, man. He got me thinking about the kicker. He got me thinking about Xavier Woods, and he got me thinking about Jeff Heath. We love Jeff Heath. I think that Jeff Heath is a better free safety than when he plays inside the box. I think that the reason why we don't see Donovan Wilson is because, remember, everybody marveled at Donovan Wilson preseason play, but that's him playing free safety, not him playing strong safety. Donovan Wilson is a better free safety. So our issue is at that free spot. I love what Xavier Woods can do. Don't get it twisted. But trust me, this is what I would do, Cowboy Nation. 2 tiers in a bucket, pluck it. I will put Xavier Woods in the slot. I'll just do it. I'll just put him at the slot. He plays better in that type of situation. I think he can turn his hips. I think he can turn his head around to the ball. He got natural instincts. And then on top, I find a way. I think it's just a rotational switch. We need to put Xavier Woods inside the slot. He can play it. He can play between the splits. And then on top of that, you need to move Chido Awuzie as some form of strong safety or free somewhere, and then keep Jordan Lewis out there on the edge, you see. Let me know if that can work out. Shout out to Jay Form that's in the house, man. I really appreciate you, man. What are week 6 YTF? The Patriots have more interceptions in 6 games than Dallas have in 2 years. I think it's just need to be personnel switching around. I agree with what you're saying, Jay, with the facts. More interceptions than the Dallas Cowboys this year than 2 years. Yeah, Jay is always, no matter what time slot that he comes in, Jay is going to give you the raw information out there. And a lot of people will not digest what Jay is saying, but Jay been saying true facts ever since he been on the channel or subscribed to me. Put Lewis over Brown. Yeah, David. I agree 1,000,000%. Just put Lewis over Brown. That would help us out tremendously too. I just figured out that the Cowboys just need a rearranged personnel switching. and also during Oxnard, I know it's late for those who out there but those who got energy, and those who was out there in Oxnard, Jordan Lewis balled his butt off. He balled out this year. I mean, he was creating fumbles. I think he had a pick. I mean, Jordan Lewis was doing his thing. Of course, he got ate up by these receivers, but Michael Gallup and Amari Cooper are eating up half of the league right now. And Amari Cooper and Gallup, they got to outperform the officials too. It's crazy. Yeah. So that's how I look at it. What about Wilson back there? Yeah. I would say just Wilson is a better free. He's a natural he got natural instincts to the ball. The marathon continues, baby. Frisco speaks. Yes. Nip, talk to him. How do you feel about your team going against the Jets? This is from Sir Dilly. We got to jump out early and often on them. We got to put pressure on them, scoring. I mean, just jump out on them, create turnovers and takeaways, play our style of football, our brand of football, control the clock, and we'll win this game. We have to play physical. We can't go up there to MetLife Stadium and saying, okay, this is a dub, You got to fight for that. You got to fight for that. You got to fight for every inch. And we just can't lay down. We got to figure out doing our thing. Do we miss Bailey yet? Sir Dilly says, I think that Bailey, he had issues with his hamstring, the hamstring curse. And Jay will let you know if he's still alive and woke over there, right? But here's the thing with Dan. They thought that he was on a downward slope. And he had a horrible year last year. His year wasn't that great, but I think he's healthy back. He's back healthy now, and Dan is back to man. I think he was a playoff. He was a special team player of the week last week. Lewis over Brown. Everybody sees that, I just hope and I pray that it's not another Byron Jones situation with Jordan Lewis. When I was on this show years ago, saying that, hey, Byron Jones is not a safety. He is a cornerback. Put him back at cornerback. Play the man at cornerback. And a lot of people are like, nah, he's a good safety. He's versatile. And watch. I kid you not. Watch this Jordan Lewis. Eventually, when he goes to his other team or when he gets an opportunity to play cornerback, just watch. Just watch. You don't have to believe me. The guy makes plays, and just watch. Just watch. You're just going to see Jordan Lewis just making all of these plays out here. Do you trust Heath? This is Frisco. I trust Heath as far as I can throw him, right? So I can just play. I trust Heath as free safety opposed to playing down inside. I do. But collectively, I'm thinking that you still need to invest in that spot. Two spots that I wish the Cowboys invest in. The defensive front, again, a true defensive tackle, not an under tackle, not somebody that you're going to say, okay, he's going to fit our scheme the best. Invest in that core, and then invest in the safety. I mean, there are ways you can get a veteran safety out there. Safeties, the craziest part about safety play is that if you pick right, man, they last at least until they 33, 30, 32, 33, 34 sometimes. That's a long window, baby. That's a long window. That's a long window to have. Hopefully Mara improves. Yeah, Mara will improve, but we're looking for consistency. We want to see Mara make 4 or 5 kicks in a row. That's what we're looking for. We're looking for Mara to really make those kicks in a row. And until he do that, every time is line up for the kicker. That used to be the time we go grab our coffee, we go grab our beer, we go get our shots, we go re-up and things like that. But now we sitting there like, come on, Mara, please. We praying. We are praying, Said, Lord, we ain't going to move out of this spot until we know that kick is made. And then it goes all the way like Cody Parker's kick, bounces off the side rail or wide right. We'd be like, no. Yes, indeed, man. He'd be letting us down, man. And it's a tough pill to swallow, man. We'd be like, come on now.
Bruh.
How you missed that, man? Yes, indeed. And we be like mad at it because we be listening to that stuff of him missing these short kicks and stuff like that. And it scares. Yeah. 2010 just said scared to death. Yes. John Thomas. Yeah, shout out to you. Heath is an average at best. I mean, it's so hard for us to talk negative, so super negative about Jeff Heath because he saved us so many times. But when we look at it collectively, we would say to ourselves, man, yeah. Sometimes. But, it is what it is. Donovan Ball Hawk Wilson, this is from Vero. Yeah, he is a ball hawk at free safety. I just don't want him living around that box. He could gobble up real quick. He still need to put some brick in his pockets, right? Need those bricks. Heath saved us a lot. Dallas made. Yeah, I agree. And he he can deliver the boom. He can. Stanley, what's good? We need playmakers on the defensive side. And like you stated, Jordan Lewis is definitely one of, in my opinion. Stanley. Yeah, Stanley, you are speaking the truth. 2 hours and 38 minutes and 56 seconds. We're live like 95 all the way into Saturday. All the way into Saturday, man. I really appreciate you all. Who else we got, man? The phone number is up top, man. Let me know how you guys feel. 682-214-4087. We got all vampire blood out here. Cowboy Nation. We rocking the nation late at night. 12:34 where I'm at. Central Texas time. Let me know what time it is where you all are at. Yeah. And Eastside Harold. What about those Astros? I don't know. I have to check out those Astros this year. But shout out to the Houston Astros. Are y'all number one right now? Yeah. East Side. Shout out to East Side down there in Houston land. Can we make it to 1 a.m.? Yeah, man, we can make it to 1, man. You know, we can make it all the way to 1. It's 10:35 where you at? Okay. Put down where you all are from, man. Let me see. You're behind. Yeah, I'm way behind. It's 12:35 a.m. 1:30 a.m. South Carolina Cowboy Nation. That's what I'm talking about, Dustin. Yeah, man. Boy, we got somebody calling the hotline, and let me see if we can pick it up. 520. What's going on with you?
Yes, me again. Damn. Don't nobody want to call? Everybody's sleeping? Timestamp on the break for yesterday is 7 minutes in, and that's when Nate starts talking about feeding Zeke, and he's talking to Jesse Holly, so he's trying to get some input from Jesse Holly right now. I'm watching it. So
okay, so it's 7 o'clock.
Check it out, see what's going on.
It's 7 minutes into it on the.
7 minutes into the break. Yeah,
7 minutes into
more
the
touches
break.
for Zeke. Hanging with the boys. Yeah, hanging with the boys. More touches for Zeke. That's where it's at. That's where timestamp starts. So you'll start going off here after a while, probably. I just got here from work, so I dipped out real quick. So I'm done. I'm out. I'm going home. Been here long enough.
Yes,
10 something. It's like 10:30 something here. Let me get the right time. I don't want to be giving no bunk time. Yeah, 10:36. Yeah, I'm good. 10:36 Arizona time. Yep. In the heart of the Cardinals country. A Cowboy. That's right.
You guys don't believe in daylight savings, right?
Oh no, it's a conspiracy. It's a conspiracy.
Everybody else moving
time
their
is time.
Everybody else moving their time back and forth, and y'all just sitting there still, like a tree planted by the water. You know, y'all don't move at all.
Yeah. There's not enough hours in the day, so California, I'll just jump back an hour. So it's 9:36 here in California. Yeah, they're in the same time frame right now. But I remember you talking about watching the Cowboys game this weekend, and I know here in Arizona we're either going to be seeing the Cardinals,
right?
We'll be seeing the Cardinals, the Rams, or the Seahawks. So I think the Cardinals and the Falcons. So they'll probably just flip on over to the Dallas game. Because both them teams is like trash right now, but they'll flip over that. And I think San Francisco playing the Rams. I think San Francisco got the Rams. I think that's right.
Well,
I think they have the Rams.
Well, the Rams should win against San Francisco. I'm tired of them talking all that noise.
I don't know. Well, okay. Well, they did. Well, San Francisco did play the Browns and smashed them. So
right, what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, they smashed them. But that's the Browns. You're supposed to smash the Browns. You know, you're supposed to beat them. You're supposed to beat the Browns. You know, it's like we're supposed to beat New York and Miami and Washington. Yeah.
Well, we
gonna
see
the
about
Bills and the Jets and Miami. They're supposed to beat them teams. Let them lose to them. You'll be hearing about, this Brady just had a bad day, and then that's about it. Let Dak have a bad game. Let him get picked off 8 times in a game, like they did back in, 2007 with Romo. 5 times he gets picked off, but he still won the game by a point.
Who did that?
Even.
You talking about the Bills? You talking about the
the Cowboys when they played the Bills, and Romo throwing all them picks. That's like, man, sheesh, he's worse than Testaverde. That game, I think he's worse than Testaverde. Is Interceptaverde. That's what I call him for, you know. But I'm like, but he came back and won that game. But like I said, you know, Jesse Holly is right now going off, and I like to run across him too, smack him upside his head a couple of times.
Jesse's a pretty cool guy though, and I got a chance to meet up with
but
him. Cool.
Yeah, I did see the spot you did with him. So yeah, yeah, that's all right, Cat, man. That's all right, Cat. But that Shannon Sharp, brother, need to get off that yak, man.
Oh man, Shannon Sharp
drinking
probably
that yak.
Now. Shannon Sharp
You
drinking
know, that yak, and got that cigar, and got his liquor gummies or whatever you want to call it. That's probably his one a day shit he gotta have. His one a day. He gotta have his one a day in his yak, and he always got it up on that table. And I'm like, you know, he hitting that when they taking a break. I was like, man, I don't know.
Hey, Uncle Dave, they saying that they can hear the background.
Oh, wait a minute, let me turn this off.
Yeah,
because I heard too much. I'm sorry. I apologize, Cowboys Nation. I got the running my mouth and left that running. But you know, this is three times that I called in. Y'all need to wake up.
Man, wake on up. I'm trying to make it to the 3-hour mark. I'm trying to make it to 1 o'clock so that I can get ready, because I'm gonna be waking up early in the morning. You guys know how I do. I wake up early in the morning. I have my rest. I'm gonna be really rejuvenated, talking to you all, and then on top of that, I'm gonna hit up my guy Jamal Live Like 95 at his spot tomorrow. So we're gonna put everybody on blast on the Nation tomorrow down there in Fort Worth. That's where I'm gonna be at tomorrow, Cowboy Nation. You still there? Uncle Dave, you still there? You must turn it all the way down. Uncle Dave, call back whenever you get a chance, man. All right, Cowboy Nation, we almost there. We got 20 more minutes. All right, so let's see what the next conversation for the hour we're going to be about. What for these last 20 minutes? He's watching Hanging with the Boys, his gamer boy. Yeah, so what I might do is when I hit the shower, I might just go ahead and play Hanging with the Boys. And he did say within the 7-minute marker, that's when you want to listen in. So to Big Nate Newton talking about the running back situation. So I'm going to see what he had to say. Jay Farm says he loves Shannon. Oh, earlier, Jay, I think you probably missed it. We were just going over the broadcasters that we kind of despise, and they have the despicable views of things, like the Skip Baylesses of the worlds and the Shannon Sharps and also Stephen A. Smith. The props that they do with their hats and walking in with the Hennessy, which is my favorite drink of choice, with the mouths and the yak and stuff like that. So it's all always a ploy. Yeah. We're gonna make any moves before deadline. I would love to see a move. To spark things, but I don't want to give up draft capital, basically. And it's crazy right now. I think that we are probably. Remember, we was one player away on the offense last year to spark things around. I'm thinking that we probably be one player away on the defensive side of the ball. We could be one player away. Shannon is hilarious. Yes, you're right. I like to break the best, then talking boys, and then honking. I'm saying honking, hanging with the boys. Yeah. This is from Viral. The break is pretty cool. Talking Cowboys. Yeah, the break is pretty cool. I like it. Carlos Dunlap, Geno Atkins, are they worth anything to us? This is from Boy. Tanjo. Carlos Dunlap. Give me Geno over Carlos. Give me Geno. I'll take Geno. Let's talk special team. We're not creating plays there either. I think my guy Jay, he knows how many touchdowns that the New England Patriots got off of special teams, whether it be blocking or whether it be kickoff returns and these sorts of things. I don't see that. We talked a little bit earlier. I think Frisco Speaks. He left a dime, two piece and a biscuit with me about the Chris Jones, the Punisher. And also we talked a little bit about the kicker. I don't think that our special team is doing anything right now. I think that Randall Cobb, although he catches the ball when we punt it off to him, he's really not turning up the field like I thought he would. He kind of like a step slower than what he was last year, actually. So, and it could be a nagging injury. Tavon Austin, which Jerry Jones called him Tavion, he's having a little issues too as it relates to speed. I don't see the speed. Tony Pollard, they don't trust Tony Pollard to do any punt returns yet. Kickoff return, he just didn't really have the cojones to really run it out. Tony Pollard's looking at it like, hey, I'm calculating this thing. I don't want to showcase my true speed right now, basically. You see. So we're not seeing enough from special teams. And that's been the Cowboys' way since, hell, the last time we had a consistent special team player was the kid that went over there to the Giants land. What was his name? Harris, whatever his name is. One can say Lucky did something for us. We got rid of Ryan Switzer, for crying out loud. Of course, last year we had Tavion, but it's just really been inconsistent. It's like never been that guy that's just been a staple piece as it relates to special teams, right? Dwayne Harris, yeah, that was the last guy. Shout out to you, Reckless, Matt. That was the last guy that was consistent on special teams. He was the gunner. He was the guy that you look down the field and he was going to lay the wood. Now, we got that gunner now, C.J. Goodwin. He's a real good gunner. I love his special team play as it relates to hitting. But as far as kickoff returns and punt returns, we don't have that guy. We don't have that guy. Shout out to you, Stanley. Yeah, Mr. Thomas. Yeah, appreciate you. It's the whole truth. Yeah. Shannon does hating for TV ratings. Yeah. John is right. Never should have let him go. Mad energy. Stanley Cunningham. So what happened was the Cowboys had to made a choice. And you guys remember, I'm going to go all the way back to the crevices in the thoughts of your mind at 12:46 in the morning where I'm at. Here's the thing. They had to make a choice. Dwayne Harris or Cole Beasley. There was the choice. Either you pay Dwayne Harris or you pay Cole Beasley. And they looked back and they said, you know what? Give us Cole Beasley. And it worked for a quick second. But I remember Tony Romo used to be able to find Dwayne too. Dwayne had a good game against, it was the Rams. Before we had to go all the way back, man. This is before film sessions and film breakdowns were able to occur. But Cole Beasley stepped it up. Remember this, Cowboy Nation. Cole Beasley had a few sparks here and there with Tony Romo. With the hair hanging out of the back of the helmet and things like that. But Cole Beasley's best careers came when Dak Prescott entered the scene, you see. But we sure did miss Dwayne, though. We did. And then Lucky, of course, the Lucky situation. Lucky was able to do that reverse sweep like no other. And he single-handedly helped us out to beat the Green Bay Packers his Dak Prescott rookie's year. Yeah. We had Ryan Switzer. Yeah, we got rid of him. It was a crazy situation. I was mad when we got rid of Ryan Switzer. I think that we gambled too much. And we got the guy that we end up getting rid of. I forgot his name, from the Raiders land. He was a defensive front. And it was crazy. It was crazy, man. I was mad for a long time that we got rid of Ryan Switzer because everybody was looking at that one game that he dropped that fumble. He fumbled that kickoff return or punt return. And everybody like, oh, man. But they failed to realize that Washington game, that he won that game for us in his rookie year. Yeah, ran it all the way back. Y'all remember that Washington game? 2010 says goodnight. Man, you can look, if I'm going to leave at 1, you can't stay into 2010. You can't give me 12 minutes. Switzer cost us that Rams game, but he made it back up. He won that Redskins game. You guys remember that Redskins game? Cole Beasley had 267 yards and 0 touchdowns. What year? Currently, okay. 267 yards, yeah, and 0 touchdown. Yeah. Was unlucky how they got rid of him. Yeah, Stanley, you're right. Law, do you think Chris Richard replaces the Coach Clapp? No, I don't think so. My thing is, they won't give Chris Richard that head coaching job. I don't think, especially looking at these last 2 games, they definitely won't give him that. And I say this right quick: Chris Richard brings in a ton of energy, a ton of hopes and aspirations, and everybody gravitate towards Chris Richard. But the problem is with that will be this right here, Cowboy Nation, is that I don't think that what Chris Richard brings to the table as relates to being like the head coach right now will be a process that the Dallas Cowboys waiting to learn from. I think that next in line, if everything turns the right way, if the offense is still being like top 5 and we end up losing something like that, they probably promote Kellen Moore as the head coach, or they go out there and grab a Lincoln Riley, somebody that's offensive minded. They just gonna do it that way, That's been the Cowboys' way, Unfortunately, that's just how I look at it. It's just my thoughts, nothing factual right now. You see, it's just my thoughts. I just don't see Chris Richard being the head coach. He probably get away. Jihad War, thank you, McKnight. Appreciate you, man. I was thinking like, man, what was his name? Yeah. Finish with the flip. Yeah, Reckless Mac. Yeah, Matt. Yeah. Chris Richard need to step it up. And here's my only defense to Chris Richard. When he was coaching the Seahawks, well, passing game coordinator / defensive coordinator, whatever he was out there, the Seahawks run a cover 3 scheme. It's different from this cover 2 scheme, and this is what they're doing. I always like to give a car analogy. Chris Richard is pretty much, quote unquote, giving the keys to the car, and the owner of the car is saying, hey, keep it clean. I don't want to see no scratches, no scrapes on the car, and you can't go over 65 miles per hour, and I want to be back by 11. That's Chris Richard in a nutshell. That's Chris Richard in a nutshell. Tyler Gordon says Romo for head coach. It's not going to happen, Tyler. And here's why. And you can reach out to Michael Irvin, or you can hit my guy Jay Farm up there's right there. Tony Romo alienated himself with the Cowboys. He was more so a selective few type of guy. Like Jason Witten was his guy, Sean Lee, and some other players that were kind of like in a small bubble. He wasn't a guy that had lunchings and meet and greets at his house. He wasn't a guy that everybody was like, man, this is Tony Romo, I'm going to listen to what he had to say. No, Tony Romo was more so an independent type of guy. And from what I'm hearing, it's not my thoughts, it's what I was hearing. And Michael Irvin touched on it before, and I have to find a clip and see if I can cut it down and break it down for you, everybody. They said that a lot of times Tony Romo was not able to identify with some of the players. Not saying that Jason Garrett does a hell of a job identifying with the players, but what I'm saying is collectively, Tony Romo, he's a wonderful guy, and also, as far as the head coaching, I think that Tony Romo, believe it or not, will be a better defensive coordinator than anything. He knows how to call out the offenses like this. He knows how to take away a lot of things from offenses just because he played the position. He knows what the quarterback is trying to do. If you ever go back and read his analysis of the game, you'll see that, man, he'll be one hell of a defensive coordinator. But I'm just putting that out there. Just Google Michael Irvin on Tony Romo being a head coach, and you will see how we can break that down into better parameters for you all. I'm ready for a new coaching staff. Chris Peterson or Urban Myers would be great. This is from Reckless. Where do Chris Peterson coaches at? Help me out. Don't follow colleges that well. Kellen Moore would be the next head coach. This is from John Thomas. Yeah. Romo, this is from Jay. I knew that Jay was going to put it out there. He says that Romo barely put in work during the offseason. He was the worst person during Monday treatments, and Mike Warsich hated him. I can't say his name, but Mike, hated him. See, and Jay is letting you guys know the real deal. There's no sugarcoating this stuff around here, man. I coach for Washington. I'll look up Chris Peterson and see how his coaching philosophy is. But I like the OU coach. I like his philosophy. I love that high pace, high different tempo and stuff like that going. Let me see. Big D has played like Little D. And this is from Killer. Yeah. We're going to step it up, man. This is Boy. It says, I read teams are studying Boise State games to understand Kellen's style. Kellen Moore actually spoke out against that, and he said that was all clickbait. He don't use any of the Boise State hand signals with hand gestures or anything like that. But so far, when you win, you do get a chance to as they say, ruminate and just lie on a lot of things, or embellish. That's what the word I'm looking for. Not lying, but they embellish a little bit. The Saints said it's probably to throw off the other teams too. Mike McCartney for a head coach. I don't know, man. Mike McCartney. Well, it'll be a different wrinkle, but it'll be probably more of the same. Probably. Appreciate you for making the donation to help grow the nation, Killer. Really appreciate you. Are we going to sign Byron Jones? $14 million. $14 million is a lot of money. All right, here it says I meant 1 a.m. Pacific time. You up till that time frame? I don't know, man. I got to go to the Fort Worth tomorrow. We will be walking around doing a lot of things in that area, and then we got to hit up my guy. Shout out to you, Silent DC. Appreciate you all. We got 3 more minutes with the nation, man. Don't forget to put down where you all are from. I've been live like 95 for 3 hours straight. This chat room started off with 3 people in there, and of course we got 70 people in here right now, which is cool. But shout out to the 3 that was originally here. At first I was like, man, I know I normally don't go live like 95 at this time, but if it's going to be only 3, and I used to say when I was year 1, year 2 doing this, I said, man, if it's more than 2 people, I can talk to you all. So, and it's more than that, and I hit my goal, hit my expectations, and I really appreciate you all. Thank you all that made the donations to help grow the nation. Thank you all who called in. Shout out to Uncle Dave, man, calling in from work. I didn't talk long enough for him to clock out of work, which is crazy. And he been on here. We talked for 20 minutes and 30 minutes, man. Collectively, I think that he talked for a whole hour. Shout out to Frisco Speaks. Shout out to both of the Jake the Great and Jake 2 times for calling in, man. All of you all. And Vero, thank you again, man. Really appreciate you all. It's something about when you put your mind together, right? And I do know that a lot of people say, man, I don't have time to listen to this dude talk with a bandana looking like a James Harden, in which James Harden really looks like him, blase. But it's special, man, for you all to support this channel. and listen to me talking. And from a guy from a small town like Natchez, Mississippi, I would never thought in a million years, that I have a chance to speak on a platform and listen to you all talk to me, and I talk to you all. It's crazy, man. Growing up, nobody Cowboys fan in my household. I'm the only Cowboy fan that was like, go Cowboys. Everybody else was like, in Mississippi, you just pick a team. And my little brother, he loved the 49ers. My mom is a Saints fan, you see. And it was just me, just being a Cowboys fan. And believe it or not, my biological father, he's a Green Bay Packers fan. So imagine how that feels. 1 week we lose to the Saints, and then all of a sudden the next week we lose to the Green Bay Packers, and they just both calling me back and forth. And hey, how about them Cowboys? See, I'm right in the middle, But go Cowboys, Cowboy Nation. Let me play my hype music, man. I ain't gonna play the battle music, man. We're gonna get out of here with let's play this one right here. Really appreciate you all. I really do, man. Score prediction 17-13. That's my score prediction. I don't know about you all score prediction, but 17-13 is going to be a tight game. It's going to be a game that we really need to happen. Them eyes, though, man. What's up with you, man? You tuning in this time of night. Jersey, shout out to you, man. 856. Yes, indeed, man. Let's go. From Spartan, 9-7 from Jay. So we're going to put that on the atmosphere. We have a 12-4. Let me rewind. Let me read all these. We have a 12-4 from Tyler. 17-2. Aha! I got you, Killer. Oh, 17-2. Oh my goodness. But I'll shed all type of tears. I will come on this show and I will cry like a baby if that happened. And I'll forever. I will change Law Nation logo to Viral Killer. If we go 17-2, I'll create a VK logo and I'll have it on my channel for at least a year. It'll be like, hey, why your channel has got VK on it? Because he decreed a thing and it happened. He declared and decreed and it happened, right? I'll do some crazy stuff, man. Y'all just don't know. I'm itching for this Super Bowl, and it seems like it's right around the corner. All right, so let's see. Stello's 13-3. Okay. Man, it's crazy. Let's go. If that happened, man, that'll be good crazy. My Cowboys family says, go Cowboys. Check them out. Check out my Cowboys family, Job 22-28. I'm going to have to read that up tonight. That will be my scripture for the night. I'm going to read that, baby. Let's go, Cowboy Nation. That's been my time. I really thank you all for yours. And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best. Oh, man. Amaro Tezaraz. I hope I said your name right. He said, play the war song, Law. Whenever you make the donation to help grow the nation, I gotta bend to your will, right? Let's go. We're gonna play the war song out of here, man. Oh my goodness, yeah. I'm gonna bend to your will on this one. Yeah. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh no. There we go. Now I gotta stick my face like this. Wartime. Y'all ain't going to sleep right now, right? Yeah. I don't know why. This is sponsored by Amaro. It says play the war song. It's battle time, baby. Let me see some fire emojis at least. Let me see some fire emojis. Let's go. I'm crazy, baby. I'm crazy. Yes, let's go. Here we go. Reckless put it out there. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Let's go, Cowboy Nation. Hey, they like to put us down in the dirt, but we tell everybody that you got this crazy guy that looks like James Harden, right? Lying. James Harden looked like him. That it doesn't matter what time of the day, we're going to talk about Dallas Cowboys. We ready for Sunday. What you tell them? What you tell them Cowboys fans out there? You tell them how about them Cowboys, right? Oh, Somebody says Spartan 12. Oh, I see you. I see you with the fire. I see you with the fire. What you tell them, Spartan? What you tell them, baby? What you tell them? What you tell them, Spartan?
This is Sparta!
Just in case they didn't hear us loud enough, and just in case they didn't feel it, let we tell them again. What we tell them again? Tell them again. Where my Sparta? Where my Sparta? Where is my Sparta? Where are you? I know I can sense you. I know I can feel you.
This is Sparta!
Now all you now is a Sparta helmet with Cowboys logo silver and blue.
All right, Cowboy Nation, I done showed my tail off long enough. All right, Cowboy Nation, let's continue to grind. Let's continue to shine. Let's go. Yes, indeed. Let's go. I'm out, baby. Every member, you're listening to absolutely nothing but the best. Can you smell what the law is cooking, baby? Alita la masa. We out. Peace. Let's go. I know y'all crunk now. We out of here. Ain't no